Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Put away the rag. Put away the polish. You can't polish this one up last night. There's just no way. There's no way to turd polish what happened last night out at Petco Park with Dylan Cease again. This team is getting very predictable, and we are sliding into that part of Padres baseball where they're boring to watch. They're just a boring team, and we've been there before, and I do not like boring teams. You can lose 6-5 and make it exciting and show some fight and some grit, but last night was not that night at all. We'll talk about that game, and I hated it. I hated most of that game last night, about 8 innings of it, 7 innings. Everybody's got their opinions on it this morning, but we'll get right into it. We'll get into we need to loosen up first a little bit, I think. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Good morning to you, Benjamin.
Good morning, everybody. The city on edge right now? Just a little bit?
I think so. I feel it. I definitely feel a little edgy, you know.
I feel it's not like I win every other day as well.
It's literally every other day.
The entire month of July,
they
have gone win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
Yeah, I had it in my notes today. Yeah. Since the Philadelphia doubleheader, they won that first game and they lost.
The entire month of July.
Yeah. And it's just snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. So it will tell you that they will beat Eduardo Rodriguez today in the Arizona Diamondbacks and split that series, which is, hey, listen, at this point, I would kill for a split.
It's not what I wanted, but I'll take it now.
100%. It's weird how we will make those adjustments in what we want, especially in the course of a baseball season. So, yeah, man, we all watched that game last night. We were texting about it throughout, and it was just boring. It was just a boring squad.
I've got an example of the city on edge from yesterday,
actually.
Do you? So, yeah, I went down to do a story for Channel 10 on the Junior World Golf Tournament. Drove down to Singing Hills. A lot of Tier 1s down there, by the way. Shout out to Dylan in the cart barn. Took a picture with him.
Nice.
Talked to a couple of the marshals. Was really profiling one of the parents. I thought it was fascinating. These are like 8 and 9-year-olds that are out. They're really good, Woods. Like, there's a 9-year-old from Thailand girl shot 9 under yesterday. This is like, I'm watching them on the range. They all hit the ball. They're 8, so they only hit, but they still hit like 170 yards right down the middle. Arrows straight every single time.
Little turds.
So
I couldn't do it.
The swing is perfect.
I can't stand
perfect. I'm like jealous of like a 9-year-old girl's golf swing. It is so perfect. And I talked to her dad, and they're down from Orange County, and nice guy, and doesn't. I was worried that, are they putting too much pressure on these kids? But she's like, no, just go out there, have fun. We don't care what the score is. Hey, maybe someday she'll get a college scholarship, but we're not going to put any pressure on her. She likes doing it. So it was fun. So I did the story. I'm driving back. There's this gnarly fire that breaks out. I am right by it. I don't know if you saw some of the coverage. Hamul fire.
No, I missed this.
I saw the alert. So yeah. I jump out with my camera, get some video of it, of the flames, lapping up on the hills, trying to do my part for, the television station, because I know they're going to have big breaking news.
Yeah, you're right there.
But they said, all right, come on back, though. We need you to get your story done. So I hit the 94 freeway, and it is a dead stop. I look at my Google Maps, and they go, accident up ahead. Get off the freeway.
Fire and accident.
It's a deadly combination, obviously.
Get out
of
there.
So the freeway's not moving. My app says, just get off, take the side streets. You'll be back in 20 minutes if you do that. So I'm trying to merge over to the right, as is pretty much everybody else to get off at College Grove. And it's inching along. Everyone's going like 2 miles an hour. You're barely moving at all. So got my blinker on for like 3 minutes, and I'm not getting over. So I just keep kind of inching forward and trying to inch over. And there's this white van, and she kind of cuts me off, and I say, oh, fine, I'll just get the next one. But there's nowhere to go. So I just keep inching forward, and I get ahead of her again. I'm like, I start inching over again, and she zooms up and cuts me off again.
Oh boy.
And then I'm still just kind of sitting there, not moving, but I'm already kind of halfway into her lane, and I inch forward again, and she's still there, and she once again zooms forward and cuts me off, and she rolls down her window, and we're very close, like our side view mirrors are almost touching at this point, and she's yelling at me like, get in your lane, and I'm like, I'm trying to merge. Someone has to let me in. I've got to get off just like everybody else. And I'm pointing at her and she's pointing at me and screaming at me. And I'm going, what do you want me to do? There's no other place to go. There's 10 other cars in front of me who have just merged. Everyone else let them in. I'm the only one. I just have to sit here and know. I just didn't understand. And I don't.
Just quick time. Listen to this man.
I don't know what was going on.
Up, man.
It's the most excited I've seen you in a long time.
You feel alive a little bit, right? Yeah. So did she let you over?
No. So she zoomed forward again. I waited like until 5 more cars passed. And there was like a bus, and I just kind of inched in front of the bus to get off the freeway.
My buddy taught me this driving in Chicago. I never had a car in Chicago, and I've never forgotten this. My buddy Bobby, you would say he's a good driver, but every time you jumped in his car, you're like, we're dead. I'm going to die. He drove an BMW M3, which was really fast, really fast. And I'd go, God, stop. What are you doing? He's like, just put your nose out there, dude. Nobody wants to get in an accident. And I go, oh, yeah, you're right. So stick your nose in there. Like, no one wants to get in a wreck. And
I know. That's what I was trying to do.
But
she seemed like she was more than happy to get into a wreck as long as I didn't get into the right lane so I could get off. She was willing to absolutely clip my car to make sure that I did not get in front of her and cost her 4 seconds in her day.
Man, this is a good time. Adio in the chat said, man, this is a time I wish there was a hidden microphone in Ben's car. To get that audio on tape would have been.
Well, there wasn't a lot of audio because I left my window closed. I was just mouthing the words. I was just yelling like
F you
without any noise. I was yelling, get trying to get off.
Did she
but
give
I wasn't
you the
really
finger?
saying anything. She gave me the back of the hand, kind of the Italian, like,
Hey, so Bobby Bacala. Hey. That's unbelievable. I can't believe you. Are you okay?
Is it possible?
Your hair's all jacked up now. Look at him. He's shook. He is shooketh.
Is it possible that I was also a little irritated by what happened earlier in the day here at Odyssey San Diego?
Strap in, everybody.
And I was stunned, Paulie, because we got the news first. And when I saw it, I thought, oh no. Woods is going to have a brain aneurysm when he hears this. I mean, it's just, he's going to be gone. It's just going to pop, boom, and he's gone. Just going to drop dead right
start
on the
vacation
floor.
early.
Vacation early, I'd be dead.
It's just going to be dead.
So the permanent vacation. Yeah.
Because I knew he hadn't seen it yet because he hadn't responded to the text that we got from Adam after the show and after we stuck around.
The text from me.
Yeah.
You had the text.
Yeah.
All right. But
Paulie was the final say.
Yeah, I saw it first, and I know you hadn't seen it yet because, as we told you yesterday, we stuck around to record episode 2 of Off the Air, our new podcast, Odyssey podcast featuring Ben and Woods and Paul, and it went really, really well. It was good show.
It was really good.
Best one we've done.
Best one we've done. Well, we've done 2.
2 of them.
Yeah.
And then Paulie texts. And Adam had been in the back room,
in the what they call the control room.
The control room.
So meaning he would have control.
Anybody in the control room usually has the control.
Yeah. And the producer of Off the Air, as it were.
And when Paulie, after we were done, went to get the video of our whole episode, he said, yep, the video looks good. There's no audio. Not there.
What do we do?
The lips are moving.
What do we do for
sound.
a living? We are an audio delivery company. We deliver audio.
Mm-hmm.
Oogie wants to know, did Ben say a curse word on the
podcast?
podcast?
We had a
never
whole
know.
segment of Ben cursing.
Yeah.
You're never going to hear it.
You'll never know because there was no audio.
Maybe we just we put out the video and I'll just put like some elevator music for 45 minutes and you guys can all watch it and determine with your own lip reading skills what we're talking about.
At least that's a good idea. We'll send it to John Boy. He can just do an entire lip reading episode.
It was 52 minutes. It would take
that was
him
before cuts. It was probably a 45 minute total.
So it would be it would take him a couple of years to get it done.
Yeah.
So I did get the text and I did write back. My initial reaction was, "Are you effing kidding? No, you're effing joking." And then I got to the gym I worked out really hard, and then I just was over it at that point. I just went, all right. So I called Paulie and I go, so really it's done. And he goes, yeah, we don't, it doesn't exist. I can't get it. I said, okay. I said, well, say la vie. That's life. I just said, okay.
Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am. I'm a guy that has done a billion podcasts, and I'm a guy that's lost audio. I've recorded podcasts that never, nobody clicked record. It's happened to me a dozen times in my life. Now, I've never been the producer of one. It was never technically my fault that it didn't, catch or whatever. But it's happened to me before. The thing that is hardest for me, and it's not a shot at Adam at all. It's really not. But you guys want to try again. Sure, absolutely. We do want to do this project. We're committed to the project. But the problem is now you can't recreate what we had. So I don't want to try. I exposed something on there that probably would have started some S with someone. And you give me 5 days to think about it. It's not happening now. It's just not. And it was really good. And it was really juicy. And I was like, oh, it's not happening now. So for me, Adam called me. He personally apologized. And the thing is like, this is what my only like beef or whatever, just edict on the whole thing is this. There is not some storage facility full of content that I can go to, open the door, grab a box and be like, all right, let's go through this and see what we got. We did a 4-hour show trying to deliver good, fun, creative, entertaining content. Then we went right in there. We did that hour-long entertainment. Today, we'll try to deliver a 4-hour entertaining show. Then we'll go in and do an hour roundtable after. Tomorrow, we will deliver a 4-hour radio show trying to be original and with fresh, original content. The well runs dry sometimes, and you can't just let me just pull up the well and grab another ladle of creative
you need
water.
another hour of content. Let me just
grab
get that.
And so, yeah, man. If again, I've said it a billion times, this job is very difficult if you care about what the quality of your show sounds like. If you don't care, it's really a simple job. You can come in, read the newspaper, take phone calls, do whatever you want to do. It's a difficult job when you care about the content and you want it to be engaging and funny and compelling. So I don't have anything. We're going to retry it again on Tuesday. You're going out of town, Benny. And so, man, like when he called me, I go, it's okay. I go, it happens. Because really it does happen. Number one, it has happened to me before. Mm-hmm. And what am I going to do about it? Scream about audio that can't be recovered? There's nothing. It's gone. It's into the ether. So now I just got to get back to the drawing board, which is the drawing.
We got a good 45 minutes of practice.
Yeah, but we can't do the same thing. You were absolutely right. And I feel bad. I feel bad for the tier ones. We'll come up with a good episode. You will be entertained, but we can't recreate what was already created. Woods was like emotional. I mean, I saw the tears like were welling up in your eyes as you were telling your story just a little bit.
I thought you were going to get emotional.
I saw it.
I don't even remember getting super emotional.
Yeah. It was powerful, and I hate throwing out a tease that we can't really pay off because we can't just tell the story now. It was specifically for that show.
It was so off the cuff that we legitimately had no idea where Woods was going when he started telling us the story.
You guys were shocked.
And I'm like, I cannot wait to hear this. And I thought it was like pretty powerful and really like got a little deep at points. And I was thinking about, I'm like, yeah, there's just no possible way. We're not good actors.
No,
like, you cannot recreate that authenticity.
Yeah, Dub J, you nailed it. And Ben said it. My wife said it as well. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. It's a bummer, but again, it was not meant to be aired. Maybe it saved me. Maybe it saved me some headache. No, not
it's
maybe.
Possible.
It definitely
is possible.
It definitely did. So yeah, man. I and again, I guess Adam called Paulie too, and was like, Woods was shockingly calm. And when he called, I went, oh no. And he's like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. And I go, hey man, It is what it is. What are you gonna do about it?
I told Adam, I was like, look, we're not mad at you. We're mad at the situation, like you are, I'm sure, but we don't think like you and the engineers were sabotaging us.
I don't think anybody's working against us. Like, hey, watch
I was
this.
literally in the production
They
studio
were hearing
before
us,
we started.
The audio was there.
There was there. It just didn't get sent over the feed
to
for whatever
StreamYard or whatever.
I don't. Yeah.
Now it would be different. And have you ever done this where you were just afraid to tell someone? Like they let us go the whole time knowing there was no audio, but they were just too scared to come in and stop us. That wasn't the case.
He wouldn't do that, number one, because they did come in 10 minutes in and say, Woodsy, your mic's cutting in and out. Let's get you new mics.
And we started over.
We did have to kind of reset and start the beginning over again and pick it up from where we left off and going to edit it later. So I don't think he would have been scared. Why would you? I mean, that would be mean to let us get all that good stuff out there and then not do it. So it was a bummer, certainly.
And I get it. Michelle says, but now we're so curious. I know. And we feel bad about that, honestly, but we want to be as open and as honest as we can.
Well, I'm bummed too, because I like this project. I like the idea of it. The set looks amazing. I feel juiced up when I walk in there. It was really good. And so we do get to cut loose on there and say bad words and have fun and talk about other things. And I am jazzed up about the idea, but we got to make sure that doesn't happen again. It just can't happen again. Once is fine. It's it's a mistake. Mistakes happen, but like next time after
it's a new show,
especially after like a 4-hour show, you will go in there like, all right, let me reset this thing and let's try to crush this. And we did. We crushed it. And it's like to lose it is just such a drag.
So I will say that we took a bit of a deep dive as well into why I don't curse.
We did.
And we can't obviously play any of that audio. We don't have it, nor can we recreate it on the air because, well, we can't curse on the radio on this format. But ultimately, it came down to me deciding I'm a rule follower. Mm-hmm. And for some reason in my mind, cursing feels like breaking a rule.
Yeah.
And I don't like to break rules. I like to follow rules.
Well, it's definitely breaking a rule here. You can't just drop C words and things like that on the radio. Wish you could, but you can't. So Ben actually asked the question, well, now, I'm turning 50. Should I loosen up a little bit? Because he let it fly in Philly after a few hundred drinks. He really let it eat.
Sort of remember kind of letting it fly.
He let it eat, and it was jarring.
Shocking to
It was jarring, and I said, actually, please don't. Just once you try to be somebody you're not is when you get in trouble. That's always been my case. If I try to be somebody I'm not, it doesn't work. I can't be Ben. I'm not going to be Ben. I'm going to be me. Once I figure that out, I've been successful. And I cannot be anybody but myself.
I'm glad you're you.
Well, I have to be. I
hope you're glad that I'm me.
Very much. And that's why I told you, no, I don't want to hear you walking in being like, mother effer. I'll be like, It would pierce my brain. So yeah, that happened yesterday. Maybe it's a sign of growth that I'm growing, but I was disappointed. For sure. And it was a good one. Sorry, guys.
It's disappointing. Really sorry. It's just it's only natural when you're like, that's an hour of my life that I just won't get back. And it was for literally nothing.
Literally a complete and utter and total waste of time.
If I would have driven home after the show and stared at the ceiling, it would have been just as productive.
More so. You would have reset your brain, relaxed. Yeah, 100%, Paulie. It was more so. But yeah, it sucks, dude. It's happened to me before. I've dropped a banger podcast with one of my many podcast partners. Get the call later, dude. Audio didn't work. I'm like, oh my God. And I always have that feeling of like, well, actually, maybe it's for the best. Maybe there's a reason that didn't go out.
I did. This was a long time ago now. I did a podcast at the old radio station, and I was recording over the phone with our beloved Bernie Wilson.
Oh, I love Bern.
And it was a very sensitive. I don't remember how it even came up, but we ended up talking for 30 minutes about him covering for the AP a school shooting back in the day in East County, Santana, I think.
Yeah.
And look, very, very disturbing content for sure. But to hear from his journalistic perspective on what it was like to cover that, it was unbelievable. And about 20 minutes in, the power in the building went out.
Mighty 1090.
Mighty 1090.
Yeah.
Not permanently, just a blip.
Sure.
It went out. The whole building is dark. I'm in a dark ass recording studio with no lights, nothing. And the audio is completely gone. I'm like, well, Burn. I text him, I'm like, you're never going to believe this. And you can't recreate that.
You got to pay your bills.
It's over.
As you got to pay the electricity bills. As you well know. I mean, Paulie says it was just a blip.
Yeah.
Blame SDG&E.
This was still a couple of years from the final plug
exactly.
Pulling.
That's
if we give you half of what we owe you SDG&E, can you turn the power back on, please?
Honestly, that should have been a
$60 deposit right now.
That should have been a sign.
It absolutely should have been a sign, and probably was shut off because somebody was stuffing their pockets and not paying their bills. That's exactly what happened.
All right, you ready to get started?
Yeah,
today?
let's get it.
All right, let's see what Kelly's got traffic-wise. Hopefully, it was better than what I was stuck
let's talk
in.
some Padres baseball.
Yeah,
yesterday.
let's feel better and talk some Padres baseball.
I will set the menu on the other side of traffic, and then we will get into it this morning here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Good morning. Looking pretty quiet on our roads at this time. Just a couple things to mention. Stalled car northbound 5 before the 15. It's in the center divide and got some blacked out traffic signals. Might be causing a bit of confusion on the Carmel Mountain Road off-ramp northbound 15, so just take it extra carefully there. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here's what we got coming up for you. Obviously, we will get into our Padres crap-up. Another Dylan Cease performance that goes off the rails. It is it's inexplicable, but completely predictable. At this point, what we're going to see from him every single time.
Yeah, even Schulte said after the game last night, it's a head scratcher.
It really is,
and it is.
Same thing with Dylan. We'll have some audio for you as well as the Padres drop an 8-2 decision. To the Arizona Diamondbacks last night at Petco Park. We will also hear from our friend in-season Sam Levitt, with his regular Thursday appearance at 7:35. Second half of the show should be fun, though. Eno is on vacation, but we've got our friend Dylan from Letters to AJ is going to join us at 9 o'clock to talk some Spark baseball. And because it's a Throwback Thursday, we'll play some Real or Fake with a chance to finally qualify someone for our trip to Las Vegas, our getaway in our 8:20 segment. And then Paulie is going to take us back, I think, to a moment that we all immensely enjoyed just a year ago on our Throwback Thursday clip in our final hour of the program today. Looking forward to that as well.
Nice.
So that's what we've got on the menu for you today. First up, though, the highlights. Jesse and Tony of last night's game. People are saying trade Dylan Cease in our chat. And,
let's talk about it.
I don't think it's going to happen, but you have to talk about it at this point.
Yeah, listen.
As we get toward the trading deadline, we will discuss it all coming up next here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, listen, when Adam maybe lets me down and doesn't have the audio I need, or the Padres let me down, at least I have. Look at me right here. Eco Water. You hear this? They just sent me this beautiful, beautiful Eco Water SoCal Yeti water bottle, and it's so good. It's half the size of my other giant jug, but it's perfect for what I need. And it's filled, of course, every day with the best water that you can drink, Eco Water. We got the Eco Water system in our home. They've been keeping it soft. That's soft water, I should clarify, since 1925. When they patented the first self-regenerating water softener, they're still leading the way today. It is the best water you can drink. Better water for you with a reverse osmosis system. It's bottled quality water straight from your tap. If you want an upgrade, their Eco Water's alkaline filters will take hydration to the next level. That's what we've got in our house. It's phenomenal. Clean water deserves clean air as well. Eco Water SoCal has state-of-the-art air purification, removes 99.99% of pollutants, and we've got pure water, fresh air, and a happy family. All thanks to Eco Water SoCal. Get a free in-home water test today and try the Soft Life and alkaline water now, just $9.95 a month. Call 760-350-3338 or visit Eco Water SoCal. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925. Eco Water, your water should be perfect.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Tell you what stung maybe the most about last night's game. Welcome back, Ben and Woods. Paul, it's Thursday morning here on 97.3 The Fan. You knew already that the Giants and Dodgers had lost.
Sucks, dude.
Before you even took the field.
I hate
last
when
night.
that happens, man. I hate it.
And you were kind of, salivating at the possibility of picking up a game on both of them, going back into the third spot in the wild card, starting to get within reaching distance of the LA Dodgers, who are struggling badly. Have been swept twice in a row. Their first 6-game losing streak, I heard, since like 2019.
Yeah.
Not that it's going to continue forever, but hey, make some hay while they're struggling. You've only made up 3 games over the 6 that they've lost. Had you gone on a little streak right now, you could be breathing down their necks at the moment.
Yeah, legitimately.
But you didn't. You continued to alternate wins and losses. So, and I knew it was certainly a possibility that the Padres weren't going to get it done. But when I saw that the Phillies bodied the Giants 13-0, and the Brewers walked it off in the 10th inning on Jackson Churrio's single after they had tied it in the bottom of the 9th, even though I told you I was kind of cheering for the Dodgers, I'm more worried about the Brewers this week. I was excited about the possibility of picking up another game on LA, but you've really wasted this golden opportunity. Now you're still 6 games back. At some point, the Dodgers are going to go on another, probably as soon as, today or tomorrow, they're going to go on another run, and it's going to be really hard to catch up ground on that team. And they gave you a chance to do it this last week.
Well, and you know who the Dodgers play now? San Francisco.
Well, you gain on one of them, but
gain on one of them,
on the other.
Correct. So,
or you lose on one of them each night, because Padres play the Phillies after they wrap up with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, it's again. I mean, look, since that Philly game, we talked about it in the open. Since that Philly doubleheader game, they have gone win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss. I mean, it's just whoo. And I mean, I know he hates the term roller coaster, but that is the definition of a roller coaster.
Hey, boy, watch your mouth.
Ain't no roller coaster. It's not a carousel. It's a roller coaster. You go up, you go down. You go up, you go down. You're in, you're
It's
out.
more like a tilt-a-whirl.
Whatever you want to call it, Chilty. I don't care. It's consistently they're a consistently inconsistent baseball team.
When the Padres started this 10-game homestand to lead into the All-Star break, my hope, and we were on vacation last week when they started, but my hope was 7-3. That would get them to 10 games above 500 at the break. I would feel really good about where they were at that point. Now, is it still possible? Yes. They would have to win their final 4 games.
Yes.
Tonight and then sweep the Philadelphia Phillies. I don't see a team that's currently playing at a level in which I expect a 4-game winning streak. But that's the best case scenario, kind of still out there for me. The other scenarios, I mean, if they win 3 out of the next 4, then they'd be 8 games above 500. Solid. You'd have a 6-4 homestand. Not great, but good enough to.
Pretty good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They could split the next 4. That would leave them at 6 games above 500. Still well above where they were at the All-Star break last year, which was 50-49, and right there in the thick of things. Then you go into the other possibilities. If they drop 3 of the next 4, they'll fall to 3 games above 500. And if they lose all 4, they'll be right where they were going into the All-Star break last year, at 1 game above 500.
Yeah.
There's still a very wide range of potential outcomes of the first half of the season for the San Diego Padres based on these next 4 days. These next 4 days,
They're huge.
I think, are really, really big. And right now, the Padres are not finding ways to score enough runs to win consistently.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those games where you're like, because I did see people making the case of like, well, honestly, what does it matter? What does it matter what Dylan Cease did last night? What does it matter? This team doesn't score. They don't score at all. Had an opportunity in the first inning. Leadoff double. You're like, here we go. Let's get Brandon Pfaadt, who has a opponent's batting average of 588 or something in the first inning. You're like, Toddy, here we go. Double. Arise, terrible AB, didn't even get him over. Manny, terrible AB, didn't get him in. And Sheets popped out or whatever. There it is. It's over. Okay. Back to the drawing board.
0 for 3 with runners in scoring position in the first inning. By the way, Padres now 0 for this week with runners in scoring position. Didn't get a hit on Monday. Didn't even get a chance on Tuesday in the 1-0 win, and went 0 for 5 again last night with runners in scoring position. Not a single hit this week with a runner in scoring position.
And 16 for 97 over their last 14 games. That is a staggering number. You're not going to win a lot of baseball games that way. The other thing too, and somebody brought it up in the chat, I truly don't understand why these pitchers come in to Petco Park that haven't had a quality start all season, such as Brandon Pfaadt. Not one. First time he ever has gone into the 8th inning in his career, and he is dicing up Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, Luis Ariz, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth, Elias Diaz, I'll give you that. But like, these guys come into Petco. Why are we the get-right stop? Why is Petco Park the get-right stop? Oh, also, how many home runs they hit last night? 4?
4.
They had 4 home runs.
But they're a home run hitting team, but
Petco Park, we've been out-homered by our opponents at our home ballpark this year.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. So, again, I don't really fall in it doesn't really matter what Dylan Cease does, because it does. An ace goes out. Nick Pivetta goes out and hangs zeros. Dylan Cease didn't do that. He did not hang any zeros for the most part. He hung one in the first, I think, second. And then it starts, solo shot, fine. Solo shot, fine. Walk, hit, grand slam. You're like, that's it, dude. What am I watching for?
I had people texting me, though, before the inning with the 5th with the grand slam.
Yeah.
Like, even after 2 solos, you're like, this guy, he can't do anything right. And I'm like, I mean, 2 solo shots shouldn't kill you. Like, that's not the end of the world. And then, obviously, what happened in the 5th, you're like, all right, now.
Just the total meltdown.
Now
man.
this one's out of reach.
Just the total meltdown.
We'll get into the game in a little more detail coming up here with our Padres Wrap-Up. All the highlights. We'll break it down for you right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Just one problem to mention here, northbound 15, Carmel Mountain Road off-ramp. Those traffic signals are dark, so someone is on the way to fix that. Meanwhile, nice and quiet all around the county. If you are already out there on the roads, feels like you got the whole place to yourself, still a good idea to keep your speeds down, be extra alert. And Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
Oh, a shame indeed.
I couldn't agree more.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
What the heck happened? Are you kidding me?
Can't even believe it.
It's the Padres
Wrap-Up.
presented by Hamul Casino. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
And McCann hits it in the air to deep left field. Johnson goes back. He will watch. It will go. Second deck in left for James McCann. His second home run as an Arizona Diamondback. And the Snakes go ahead 1-0 here in the third inning. Suarez with 2 outs, nobody on. Launches one in the air to deep left field. Johnson is back. He is at the wall. He will leap, and it's going to go just over the fence and out of the reach of the left fielder Johnson. Suarez came into today tied for the second most home runs in the National League. He adds another, his 29th of the season, and the Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. 0-1 pitch hit in the air deep down the right field line towards the Petco porch and gone, a grand slam. Geraldo Perdomo with his 10th home run of the season. It will make it a 6-0 game here in the 5th inning. Johnson swings, grounds it to first base, backhanded by Suarez. He'll flip to Fought in time as Xander crosses the plate. Second out of the inning, an RBI ground out for Bryce Johnson. Padres are on the board. It's 6-1. And that is launched in the air to deep right field. Carroll went back, but all he can do is watch, and deep into the lower deck for Gavin Sheets. Long home run, his 14th of the season. He has now driven in 50 runs this year. And the Padres get one back. It's 6-2. And Carroll hits it in the air to deep right field. Fernando racing straight back. He's at the wall. This one going to go up over the old fence in right field. And Corbin Carroll erases his browser history. 4 strikeouts earlier, and now a home run in the 9th inning. Diamondbacks lead at 8-2. 3-1 is a looper into right field. Carroll charging in. He'll slide forward and make the catch to end the game. A 1-2-3 ninth for Kevin Kinkle, and the Diamondbacks slug their way to an 8-2 victory here in Game 3 of this series.
It is a bit of a head scratcher. We're in the business to find solutions and find answers and get results. This game is challenging sometimes because you do things that you look out and you see a guy that me and Ruben, even before the game, we're looking at the numbers we talked about prior to first pitch strikes, chase, all the good metrics are in Dylan's favor, and you go out and watch the game tonight and you're like, whoa, here we go. And I made the mental mistake of sitting there in the third inning going, gosh, man, this guy's I can't remember exactly the number of pitches was in the third inning. And I'm like, he could throw a no-hitter tonight. And then McCann hits a homer. So I'll take the hit for that one.
I'm right there with you. I thought he came out and threw 7 heaters to start the game, and the guys were so far behind on every single pitch. I go, oh, he's got it tonight. He's absolutely locked in.
This is what we need.
And you never know, man, how it plays out. You really come out, you pitch your ass off in the first, right? 7 straight fastballs. Nobody can touch you. And you walk back to the dugout and you're on cloud 9. Then your leadoff hitter rips a double down the line. This is our night.
I thought so too.
And then just, just gone, just like that. And that momentum change, we don't capitalize on it seemingly ever.
If there was
we make a great play or something, and just usually other teams are like, yeah, let's rally around it.
You mentioned just going quickly down 1-2-3 after the Tatis double in the bottom of the first. But if there was a moment where the momentum changed, it was when Luis Arraez swung at a pitch that was going to hit him, and then did hit him after he fouled it right back into his leg, and then he hobbles around for 2 minutes, and then Weekly flies out. So you don't even advance the runner to third.
Yep.
And now you feel like the pressure is on. Manny doesn't get him in. Sheets doesn't get him in. And now that you've given the Diamondbacks and Brandon Pfaadt some confidence to throw strikes going forward. He's a strike thrower. You're not surprised that Brandon Pfaadt is throwing strikes. So the Padres have to swing pitches in the zone. He's not going to walk a lot of guys. He never does. But the problem with the Padres offense has been the same all season long. They put balls in play. Dylan Cease struck out twice as many guys as Brandon Pfaadt last night. The Padres put the balls in play. Nothing good happens when they put the ball in play.
Yeah, it's wild.
They find gloves. They just find gloves all the time. And Arizona, they have a good defensive outfield, but running around making catches. Yep. Alek Thomas out in center field is making great catches. Corbin Carroll is making great catches. Gurriel is making catches. They put the ball in play. So okay, hit the ball on the ground. That doesn't work either. They put the ball in play. When it's on the ground, it's a ground out. When it's in the air, it's a fly out.
Yeah, Zach.
It's a line drive, it's a line out.
Yeah, Zach says in the chat, I'm not excusing the limp offense. Limp is such a great word. They are flaccid and limp right now. I'm saying it's weird pitchers having bad seasons, coming in on bad stretches. We are the get-right team. And that does not compute in my head. Especially, like you just talked about, a contact team. It's hard to get right against the team that puts the ball in play. It really is. I mean,
I wouldn't want to face the Padres because I know they're going to be hitting the ball.
Everywhere,
but
right?
They always
get out.
Hit it at people.
It's confounding, man. It's confounding. And I know everyone's looking for answers. I have no idea. I have no idea other than I watched Jackson Merrill's ABs last night. I mean, you can see it in his face. You can see it in his hands. The dude is squeezing the sawdust out of that bat, wanting to do something. I know these guys care. I will never buy into these guys have given up. They don't care. Look, they're not on a 7-game losing streak. They've won one, lost one, won one, lost one, won one, lost one, right? So they cared enough. Do they care enough to win every other night? If the answer is yes, that tells me that they care. No question about it. I know how hard that they're working. I know how hard that they're trying. The results aren't there. And I think there's a little bit of bad luck in there, Benny, but I can't come in here and couch it all as just bad luck for the San Diego Padres right now.
One thing the Padres must do, and it won't fix their offense because they're more than just one player away from fixing their offense, but they have to make a change at catcher. Elias Diaz has not gotten a hit since June 27th. Martin Maldonado had the one game where he had the 2 hits, but other than that, he hadn't had a hit before June 24th.
Easy outs.
Yeah, they're not even letting them take at-bats now. Martin Maldonado got 1 at-bat, was pinch hit for by Trenton Brooks.
I could not
Elias Diaz got 1 at-bat. There is no confidence. Even Mike Schilt, who will tell you with his words how much he believes in his players and
a fifth inning pull,
how important what his catchers are doing, handling the pitching staff. His actions show you that he has no faith offensively in either of his catchers anymore.
Like that tells me we're going to suffer through one of your at-bats. You're going to give us 2 to 3 more innings of defense. And next time around,
you're out.
We have to make a change. It's that bad.
Well, I mean, how desperate are you when you're going to Trenton Brooks, in the 5th inning to try to get something going? But yeah, man, Liz, it's
Trenton Brooks ain't the answer either.
No, he's not. I mean, we got about 4 or 5 guys in the lineup that aren't the answer right now.
Yeah. The pitchers, and I know this is perhaps something that Mike Schilt would push back on a lot because I know catchers are important. These Padres pitchers know what they're doing. If you brought up Luis Camposano and Brandon Valenzuela, they wouldn't simply fall off a map. The ERA wouldn't jump by 4 with the entire pitching staff throwing to other guys.
I mean, look, I give some of these guys have worked well in tandem. Maldonado and Cease clearly isn't it.
No,
it clearly after 19 starts, a 3.9 record with a 4.88 ERA. All right, that combo is not maybe as elite as you think it is. It doesn't. Your comfort level doesn't matter at this point. Yu Darvish was able to adapt after Victor Caratini left. He was able to adapt. That was his personal catcher in Chicago. His personal catcher here brought him along for the ride. And actually, Victor Caratini, I think, having a pretty decent year. I think he's in Houston now. Is that right? But they'll be fine. They'll adapt. You could bring in somebody, and it's up to them to figure out how to do it. But yeah, man, there's some guys in that lineup that are not giving you quality MLB level at bats. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is other than, hoping and praying that the top of the order gets it going and that the bottom of the order can contribute. I mean, it's not any brilliant insight right now, but really kind of out of that game early. It's a really tough stretch when you look up and you're down 6-0. It's just, all right, well, we're kind of screwed tonight.
As for Dylan Cease, it is stunning. It is inexplicable, head scratcher, as Mike Schilt called it, because the stuff is there. Even the metrics behind the metrics look pretty good.
I just looked at his StatCast this morning. I mean, He throws one of the best fastballs in the league. Throws one of the best sliders in the league. Can't get guys out consistently. The walks are way too many and absolutely killed him last night. The walks are always untimely, unless it's I'm pitching around the one good hitter on this team to get to the guy behind him to roll into a double play. Benny, he loses the plot, man. It just like you look up and you're like, oh, okay, this is it. I know it's coming. It's so predictable with Dylan Cease, and it's unfortunate because the stuff is good. And he said after the game, I feel like I need to just kind of weather the storm, keep moving forward. I like the work I put in. I feel like I'm really close. There's a lot of things that are positive. I just haven't put it all together yet. Yeah, I mean, it makes me actually, I was texting with a buddy last night, and I thought, people are saying trade Dylan Cease. You never want to trade somebody when they're its lowest, but Dylan Cease is not coming back here next year. I'd be really surprised if he's in a Padres uniform after this season, like extremely surprised. That being said, they said, well, and you said it yesterday, Paul, you made the point of we need people to eat those innings. I don't know that we have them right now. Michael King's ramping up. You, Darvish, had one start.
Whether Dylan Cease it's good innings or bad innings,
they're still
need innings.
You do.
You cannot, if you have any hope of getting to the playoffs, you can't ride this bullpen.
But if you keep Dylan Cease, roll him out there every fifth day, okay, you get that comp pick when he leaves and signs in free agency with somebody else. You do get that comp pick. Could you get more in a trade for Dylan Cease in the next 3 weeks? Is worth more than that comp pick. Don't know. Whoever you get back, help your major league team immediately. And, you may find a team there is a team. There's a team in Boston that has 7 outfielders, and they're like, oh, let's get him some work at second and first. I mean, they're moving guys all over the diamond there, and they're starting to play really well, but there's not enough room for all the guys they have. Is there an opportunity somewhere where you say, we give you a starting pitcher that you think you can use these really good metrics, make one tweak, and he's rolling for you guys. We take your left fielder, we plug and play him, figure it out. Potentially it's out there. The major leaguer for major leaguer. I don't want to trade him for a bag of prospects right now, though. That signifies a little bit of a punt to me. And your other option, again, keeping him, rolling him out there, hoping he figures it out, and getting the comp pick when he leaves in free agency.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like selling off because you're giving up on the season,
right?
I would consider listening to Dylan Cease, as you said, if you feel like you can address other areas on your roster. It only works if Michael King comes back, which has always been the case anyway. But if you have King and Darvish, maybe you get by without a 3-9 Dylan Cease the rest of the season. Now, here's the dilemma. If Dylan Cease comes out of the All-Star break and throws like 2 really good starts, then what do you do? Do you keep him?
Well,
you
trade? You keep him, obviously.
See, that's the thing. If
he puts together 2, if he gets the breather.
Yeah, but you just said you don't want to trade a guy when his value is low. That would increase his value immediately. 2 really good starts would increase his value. You might get a lot more for him, but then
might get a lot more. It depends on what you get back.
You might get a lot more.
You get more. I don't know. It's really confounding. It is a head scratcher.
One thing
are you in the business of trading Cease for prospects, period? I'm not. If the right deal came along, you need to help the major league team.
Ooh, that's interesting. David, who knows more about this than David J, knows more about this than we do, says because the Padres are so far over the luxury tax, they only get a 4th round comp pick, not a second round. So maybe trading is more of a possibility because you can get more than the compensatory pick.
Yeah, maybe, and maybe that's in the cards. And again, as much as
is there a move out there that you think it still improves your chances in 2025?
That's
getting rid of a starting pitcher.
That's what you have to figure out is what you can get back. Body for body, positional need for positional need. Because I'll tell you, man, as bad as he is, 3-9 with a 4.88, somebody wants him. Somebody wants him. Somebody feels like he can put him over the top.
StatCast page and the movement and the velocity. Yeah, someone will definitely dream on Dylan Cease. Yeah. But Padres are also still dreaming on Dylan Cease, turning into Dylan Cease. Yeah. The best ticket to potential playoff success is Dylan Cease just turning around for your own team.
Correct. But that's such a dicey strategy. Hopefully it works.
I know who's really to blame for last night's loss. We can get into that coming up. Hour number 2. Don't do this in-season Sammy ahead as well. Don't go away. Ben Woods on a Throwback Thursday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. You know who I'm mad at?
Me.
Denny's.
Adam.
Denny's.
Yeah.
On Monday, we told you about the in the Don't Do This segment about the worst promotion I had ever heard, where Denny's was offering San Diego $10 off a Grand Slam breakfast if Eugenio Suarez hit a Grand Slam against the Padres this series. So what happens last night? Oh, the Grand Slam happens.
But we don't even get it.
But we don't even get the breakfast because, of course, it was Geraldo Perdomo, not Eugenio Suarez, who hit the Grand Slam.
Suarez had a chance, was it 2 nights ago?
Yeah, he did.
No, he struck out. He struck out after they intentionally walked Naylor to get to him, so he doesn't come through. But Perdomo does with little Petco porch liner. Hey, they all count. Padres, you can hit Petco porch line drive home runs too.
Can you?
You got to pull the ball, though.
I would like to see it.
Padres love hitting the ball up the middle.
Love it. Boy,
God, that used to be
wearing out that center
every coach
field.
I ever had.
Hard middle.
Hit it right up the middle.
Hard middle. Hard middle.
Boy,
Hard
Padres
middle. Hard middle.
Manny hit one 106 up the middle.
Hard middle.
Yeah, Alec Thomas, no problem.
Right there for you.
Yeah, just take about 7 steps back, little hop, grab that one. You know. Eugenio Suarez, he reaches for an outside slider, gets under it, but he pulls it, and it gets out over Bryce Johnson's glove. I'm like, how did that ball get out? And Manny's 106, just like heat-seeking missile right to Alec Thomas's glove.
Yeah. I'm feeling strangely zen about it. I really am. I'm like, hey man, like I said, with the way that it's been going, I expect to win today, split the series, and just keep treading water like you've been doing. The age-old question everyone's talking about in the chat is, hey, will 2 guys at the bottom of this lineup actually help this team? I think unequivocally the answer is yes. I do. I will stand by that. Getting some different approaches, different looks, better players. I'll just say it. Getting better players at the bottom of your lineup makes your team better. I can't promise you they're going to win 15 in a row or go on some insane run. Wouldn't surprise me that much. It wouldn't. They have the talent to do it. This is not a Chicago White Sox team or a Marlins team. It's young. They're young. They fight. This isn't that. So I do think it will help. I do think it will help. Now, I also don't want to. We're in that weird spot. I don't want to give up Leo Dallas DeVries for a 1-year rental of Adolis Garcia or somebody like that. That doesn't really do it for me.
Well, you make a good point, because if you mortgage your future to add to a team, and then they just continue to do what they've been doing,
win loss,
and are not really hitting that well, then you've really wasted those guys.
Yeah, and the tough part though is if you decide. And I don't think you're going to go status quo. I know for a fact they're not sitting down there at Petco Park going, we got enough. These guys, like, remember 23? 23, it was, we've got enough. We have enough. This team should be better. We have enough. Things aren't going our way in extra innings. Things aren't going our way in 1-run games. There's no way they're sitting down there going, what's everyone bitching about? Once these guys get going and get heated up, they'll be fine. That's not the case.
It's counterintuitive.
AJ said it.
But the time to make the big splash trade is when your team is already really, really good.
No question about it. About it.
To add to your strength, and you make that deal. It was so exciting, and you thought you were getting Tatis back. It was the perfect time for that.
It was incredible.
And that's why in 2023, when you felt like you really did need stuff, but you only bought on the margins, well, because you weren't going to fix it.
That was the year where you had Soto in spring training. Like, all right, now we got a full year of Soto. You signed Bogarts to that huge deal in the offseason, and you're thinking that was truly like, oh, we just haven't played. Like, they have not played their best baseball yet. Melvin said it every night.
We had enough.
And you're like, it's coming, and it never happened.
That was on those dudes, and those dudes knew it. And when they sat down with us at spring training the next year, it was, it's pretty embarrassing that the team with that much talent did not make the playoffs. They were all to a man.
There's no external fix. The only true fix is internal, that your star players start playing like star players. And it does feel like 2023 in that for so long that season, we were sure it was going to happen. I was sure after seeing what they did earlier in this season. Yeah, they're going through a slump, but those, Tatis will get locked in again. Manny's going to have a hot streak. Rise is going to hit over 300. It's going to be okay. I'm starting to wonder now, though. Is it going to happen? Are they going to turn it around before the end of this season? We're more than technically halfway through the year.
Yeah,
and they spent
I said it a
more
couple
than
of weeks ago. I was like, look, this is now, we had all of May, all of June, you had all of April, and 4 days in March. Like, outside of the first 3 to 4 weeks of the season, they've been a pretty, not even like average, they've been a bad offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it, as of the end of June, it's like, hey, that's more than half of the season up to this point.
Half of
like
a half.
Half of a half,
Yeah.
right? Like, getting confused with fractions here. But like, they got off to a great start, and they've ridden that to a serviceable season up to this point.
Sure.
Keeping you in the hunt, but they've been a bad offense for most of the season, and it's to the point now. We've been at the point where you got to think this is who they are. Early April was maybe the fluke, and this is maybe who they are.
Is this who Jackson Merrill is?
No.
Is he
This year,
a 190
maybe,
hitting player? I don't think that's who they are.
Maybe this year, this is who he is.
I don't think that's who he is.
No, I
But-
don't think so either.
But when is it going to stop being this version of Jackson Merrill and go back to being the guy that we think that he is? That's the question.
Jake says this in the chat. This is good, and I'm guilty as hell of this. I am as guilty as the day is long. Jake said, fans were told to relax in 2023. Yet the fans were right, and we're right again in 2025. We don't know that we're right again in 2025 right now. But I'm on your side here, Jake. This team is not good enough right now. They're not good enough. I was as guilty as the next guy of going, are you guys out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? This team's going to start rolling, and we're all going to look embarrassed.
It's only June 9th, and you guys are all freaking out.
I was absolutely wrong. That team had no heart, man. No heart at all. And
This one does.
This one does.
There is a difference,
There
which in
is
some
a
ways
difference.
more concerning.
Correct.
There's no heart switch to turn on at this point. They're playing with heart. They play clean baseball. I mean, you probably don't want to hear it, but they're not playing bad baseball.
They're just not hitting.
Hitting.
They just don't hit.
They don't commit a lot of errors.
Yep.
They don't make a lot of mistakes.
They just don't
They
hit.
just don't get hits.
They don't slug. They don't
And
hit. They don't slug.
That
Slug is
really
what
has
kills you.
nothing to do with heart. You can't heart your way to a hit. You can heart your way.
If
to
that was the
some
case,
things
I
in
would have been
baseball.
Rod Carew.
Right.
Then I had all the hearts, no talent, zero.
I mean,
But I wanted it.
when you watch these other teams that the Padres play, or you watch other games in Major League Baseball, you see the 2-3 run home runs. You're like, God, it's that easy for everybody else.
It really is crazy.
Whereas when the Padres score a run,
You're like, oh my God.
you're like, we really earned that. You had to get a single, a
You need a
stolen
pass
base,
ball.
2 more singles.
Yep.
Like, it's just absurd what's happening right now.
It's crazy.
And I don't know how to fix it, because unless you make some ridiculous blockbuster trade, there's just not a lot of guys available that have
can't
a
fix
ton
it
of
with a
slug.
trade.
No, you
You
can't.
think you can, but you can't fix it with a trade. You can only fix it with Tatis and Merrill starting to hit like we know that they're capable of doing.
Yep.
And now,
But you also have to, you need more depth.
now,
You
now,
have to.
what is that fix? Is it coaching? Is it just time? And you have to be
A
patient.
tincture of time.
A tincture of time, as we talked about yesterday. It sounds nice when you win. You know, sounds agonizing when you lose. I can't wait for my tincture of time.
So here's the age-old debate. I saw it a billion times last night. Fire Victor Rodriguez. All right. So
you can't and bring in some. Okay, we're going to be a pull-heavy team now.
Who are you going to bring in?
You can't adjust everybody's hitting strategies
Does
mid-season.
But okay, let me ask you the dumbest. It's so sports radio that makes me sick that I'm even asking. Does it shake things up? Does it shake things? Does the guy go, oh man, we better get our ass
like we just
together?
said,
I know, like
if you're
it's so dumb.
if you're lacking heart or drive, yeah, you can do that to shake things up.
Yeah.
We just said. I don't think that's the problem with this team.
They have work ethic, they have drive, they have the want to, they want to do it.
They have
They're just
the
not
want
doing
to.
it. They're just not
I
doing it.
I don't think a big change is going to be the solution for the Padres
Do
right
you
now.
think
Rafa says, I get the case for saying we need a hitting coach, but every effing year it's the same thing. It can't just be the hitting coach. I do tend to agree. I hate the way no fan wants to hear just wait and see. Just wait and see what happens. Nobody.
If this was a movie, there would be a scene right now where they go and do something to loosen the guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they go play beach football or something like in
like
Maverick.
Top Gun.
Yeah, and they go out there and they just, you should be trained. John Hamm going, we got a mid head. What are we doing here? Well, you said to create a team. We're trying to create a team.
that's your team right there?
That's your team right there.
Yeah, that's your team
They
right
kind
there.
of look like they need to loosen up a little bit
Yeah,
and just go back and just be yourselves at the plate.
Yeah.
Because they're working hard. They're
They are.
playing defense. They're sharp. They're not Not lackadaisical or making mistakes. They're just not hitting.
Well,
so.
and it's like we used to say that this
They wouldn't pass, though, in that beach football game. They would just run like 2-yard runs every single time.
Just handing up. We used to say it last year about Bob Melvin, or when Bob Melvin, remember when the year before, he won all those one-run games. He won those extra inning games. The next year he did it, and people were like livid. And I'm like, are you telling me that Bob Melvin, in the span of 3 months from one season next, goes, I don't know how to do extra innings anymore. I forgot how to manage one. No, it's just stupid baseball. That's the only explanation, is that it's just baseball. Victor Rodriguez had us on fire last year. Nuts. We went nuts in the second half. Same hitting coach. You want to fire him today? Who's coming in that's going to go, oh, I know exactly what you guys are doing wrong. You're hitting wrong at Petco Park. And this is how we're going to fix it on the fly right before the All-Star break. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying, fast forward that tape. What does that look like? Who is it? The Texas Rangers did it.
It's the most simplistic idea that we can come up with.
It's the low-hanging fruit, man. It's the low-hanging fruit for fans, for radio hosts, for all of us. It's the low-hanging fruit. Hey, man, when it's not going right, fire him. Fire him. Bring in somebody else with
I've
a different approach,
it
different
falls
philosophy.
on the players type of guy, and I still am. But at this point, and I was talking to some friends the other day, I'm like, you know what? At this point, I've never been fire the hitting coach guy. But if you think that's what it's going to take at this point to not just waste a season, I'm down for anything.
I mean,
I'm willing to try it.
The Rangers did it. I don't know what was going on. I did watch a thing. They had a couple of guys on the team that were very reluctant to fall in line with the previous hitting coach in Texas. They brought in Booney, former big leaguer, good hitter, knows how to do it. I don't know what their record is since he's come. I know I do see them throwing up 13 runs like seemingly a couple times a week.
And then zero a week too.
I heard, that's the one thing I will say about Victor. That dude had every hitter buying in. They all bought in last year, and they're still buying in. It's just not working. But Victor Rodriguez is not the one swinging at the 98-mile-an-hour fastball at his eyes. He's not the one swinging at the ball at his knee, that hits your knee. He's not the one up there doing it. So, again, if it makes you feel better, but I'll tell you, if they bring in somebody else and we still suck, it's going to make me very bitchy.
I know.
I don't want to be bitchy about it.
Don't you have to be fair and give – if you're going to give Victor Rodriguez the blame, don't you also have to give him some props for, like, Xander's turned it around and hit much better over the last month. Gavin Sheets came out of nowhere and he's hitting tanks. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. There's no answer, man. I hate to tell you guys, there's just not an answer we have an easy fix. We're going to bring in Ken Griffey Jr. and he's going to teach these guys how to play.
Players. I really have to stop going to the StatCast page for the game afterwards because it tells the same story every time.
No. Paulie, get the rag. Get the rag. Get the rag.
Why is it that the Padres are always the team that hits the ball harder?
Yeah, every time,
and it doesn't result in anything.
Last night, Victor Rodriguez.
I was sure. And I didn't look at it last night, and I was sure. Okay, the Diamondbacks hit 3 home runs. They hit the extra base hits. They're hitting the ball harder. No, Padres hit 5 of the 7 hardest balls last night. Of course, again, like always, they smoke the ball off the bat, and it doesn't result in anything. If I was Victor Rodriguez, I might quit. It'd be so frustrating.
Zach says it's our fault. It's media and fans.
Oh,
so all right. I could do 4 hours on the media and fans that need to hold them accountable. I will say it again for the record. I'm holding them accountable. They need to play better, and especially the offense. The offense needs to hit better. That's it. I'm not going to go down to the clubhouse and start pointing fingers. You need to hit better. Nobody does that, right? It's on the players. They're the ones that execute or fail to execute. That's it. It's on them. It's not my fault, Ben's fault. It's not Elo's fault, not Tony Gwynn Jr.'s fault. It's not the guys across the street's fault. It's not Hacksaw's fault. And when they do well, it's also not because of us. I didn't take any credit for last year, them going off and going nuts. Zero credit. I had nothing to do with it. So taking the blame for it seems a little odd too, but I don't understand putting the blame on anybody else other than the guys that are out there doing the job. I don't understand it. If you're in construction and you build a house that falls down, it's not the wood's fault. It's not the hammer's fault. It's your fault. It's Jim's construction company. You built this house. It fell to the ground. It's on you, dude. It's not the wind. It's not the rain. It's not the weather. You did it. You built a bad foundation. You built a bad house. It's on you. You guys have to execute. It just kills me.
I just told you. I feel like the problem's the opposite. You just said in the chat that they need to be held more accountable.
Me?
I feel the team. Yeah, Zach said that. But I feel like if anything, the team puts too much pressure on itself. Someone needs to hold them less accountable.
I mean, I don't know that that's always the case, but
take a little bit of the stress off in the bats.
And I'll tell you though, you say that and we laugh about it, but the fans show up every single day. They show up every single day to support the squad. And I know those guys want to win for San Diego. I know they want to win for each other. That's one thing I can say that I do know. They are a very together club. House. It's not leading to, it's just not. I hope that will turn around. But honestly, like people show up there every night looking for them to make some magic, Ben. And I said it when we kicked off the show, they're just a boring baseball team right now.
I mean, the bottom of the order continues to be a problem. That there weren't a lot of bad at-bats last night. I mean, like I said, every guy, even Luis Ariz had 2 balls hit at 98 miles an hour. They're both outs. Tatis had 3 scorched balls. 1 was a double, 2 were outs. I mean, that's not a bad at-bat when you go up and you don't strike out, you put the ball in play hard, and nothing good happens. Manny lined out at 105. Gavin Sheets hit the home run because he got his in the air. Those aren't bad at-bats per se. They're not going up and taking bad at-bats constantly. The bottom of the order is. The catchers they're bad at-bats. Bryce Johnson or Trenton Brooks, whoever you're putting back in the 8 slot, they're not really giving you much. But 1 through 7, you're getting good at-bats with no results.
Michael says, could someone ask the players what they're doing in their day prep to help solve their slumps? Maybe ask that instead of the softball layup milquetoast questions asked daily. I told the story yesterday of a tier 1 that was down in the home plate club. And between every at-bat on Monday night, Jackson Merrill had a terrible first at-bat. He went down to the cage, and he was hitting off the tee. While his team was still playing, he was just like, I got to figure this out. Next day, B strikes out. Down in the cage again. This guy's sitting there watching him run down there, rip off 30, 40 swings in game, then run up. Then he strikes out looking. Guess where he was again? Dude, these guys work their balls off. They work their balls off. All of them care. They really, really do. They all work hard. It's not a work hard issue. It's an execution issue.
We've seen guys come through here and you're like, I don't know that you give an F.
100%.
I don't see that on this team anywhere on the roster. We've seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, they had Mark. Somebody said bring in Mark McGuire.
They had him.
He was here. He was here.
Wish we had that guy.
Don't know. Wish I knew.
Wish we knew. We will. I
wouldn't be here.
Don't do this. Coming up next.
Oh, such an interesting topic here. I was unaware of this person, but he has brought something to the table that I think we need to talk about a little bit, and that is stolen valor. Holy cow.
That is coming up next. We'll check traffic, and then Sammy's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Don't go anywhere. More Ben and Woods coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, want to talk about my coffee place, Better Buzz Coffee, and what's going on right now. I've got my Better Buzz this morning with me. You can check out their Summer Flings menu. It's only available for a limited time. Just get to one of San Diego's Better Buzz locations this summer and check out one of the great new menu options that they've got, including the coconut best drink ever, the cult classic with a little bit of a tropical twist, or the coconut matcha, light and refreshing. Or if you need an extra boost, go for the Tropical Buzz Energy with pineapple, coconut, and the can of Buzz Energy. And of course, don't forget about their new bowls, the Blue Crush, the OG Deluxe Acai Bowls, stacked with fruit and granola and a lot of other good stuff. Check them out today. Download the app. It makes it really easy to order. Just drive into any of the locations, pick up your food and your drinks at Better Buzz Coffee, and check them out online at betterbuzzcoffee.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't Do This is brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
No.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com. This is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info, and I will just cede the floor here to Mr. Woods to start us off.
Man, this is something that every time I see a story like this, it breaks my brain in half. And I was not familiar with former UFC fighter Tim Kennedy, but this story popped up on my feed and I gave it a read and I said, how? Why would you do this? He's now admitting, Ben, that the military service, he did serve in the military, but he is apologizing for claiming that he was awarded the Bronze Star with Valor, among other fabrications of his time in the military. He released a lengthy statement on social media. I want to take full and unequivocal responsibility for a serious mistake. Over the years, I made public statements, gave interviews in which I unintentionally misstated aspects of my military service. Most notably, I implied directly or indirectly I had been awarded the Bronze Star with Valor. That is not true, and there is no excuse for it. I never received that honor. I deeply regret ever suggesting otherwise. And goes on and talks about integrity. The apology is not the end. It's the beginning. I'm committed to rebuilding trust through honesty. For me, I looked at that and I went, bro, you served your country. That is enough. It's enough for me. Like, thank you for your service. That's fantastic. I can't wrap my head around why do that.
Well, exactly. Because, I mean, everyone likes to, hear people say nice things about you. It makes you feel good. But when you do it knowing it's based on a lie, wouldn't every time someone said something, you'd feel like a pit in your stomach?
Yes.
Like a panic. Like someone's going to find this out?
100%.
Why would you put yourself through that? That sounds like absolute misery just to perpetuate a lie, just so people will think better of you. It makes no sense to me.
And again, you were a veteran. You know how important service is. You probably knew guys that stole valor before, and it had to have driven you crazy. And then you go out there, and now he's not a guy that you work with at the mall, and he's like, yeah, I got a bronze star or whatever. No, dude, you're a famous UFC fighter. You're in the public eye and adding lie after lie. I just didn't get it. And I thought, I don't understand when people do this. Now, can I take a moment to tell you guys an actual funny story about stolen? It's not valor per se, but stolen. Let's call it stolen of this. It reminded me of maybe my favorite story I've ever heard from my friend Mark back in Texas. He had a buddy by the name of, his name was Kim, and he has a last name I won't say it, but his name was Kim. He wore a Braves hat. I texted him this morning. I go, give me the story again, because I got to tell it on the air. Kim wore a Braves hat out to a bar in Dallas. He met a girl from Atlanta who he told was a pitcher. Oh, that he was a pitcher in AAA with the Braves.
But he wasn't.
Well, also, do you see Manny Machado out with a Padres hat when he goes out to have dinner?
That's a good point.
Okay. So he meets this girl. He's got the Braves hat on. He goes, yeah, I pitch in AAA for the Braves. Would you come right from the game?
Were they even in town? Does that even make sense? But okay.
I've seen this dude before.
Fine.
He looks the part.
Okay.
He looks the part of an athlete.
All right, you had a bar, whatever.
Yeah, so he's got the hat. So he's lying. He's lying to a girl.
We know why he's lying in this
Correct.
case.
Good move. Just
100%.
have 30 baseball caps in your car and go find out. Oh, you're a fan of the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I was a pitcher for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I got a hat in my car.
So
I'm got it right now.
It gets better. They ended up dating.
Oh no!
And she took him home to meet her parents in Georgia. And the dad and brother asked if they could go out in the backyard for a game of catch.
Oh my God.
But then the dad asked, hey man, can you throw a couple heaters, smoke a couple in here for us? And Kim threw one over the effing fence. And I go,
so this relationship was getting serious. He's meeting the parents.
Oh my God.
But he still has to come clean about the fact that he's not really a minor league pitcher for the Braves.
Till you die.
And he goes, his highest level of baseball was high school. Didn't play even adult ball. Had not played in years. And was like, yeah, let me warm the old whip up and see what I can do.
It's been 15 years. That'll happen.
He said he was a current.
This is a sitcom plot.
It's unbelievable.
And then what happened?
I don't know. It was obvious at that moment. It was probably super uncomfortable where the dad was like, all right.
Didn't the dad, though, like he thought, oh, yeah, I remember you. I've heard your name.
Yeah, he was like, yes, I know you.
He was too afraid to admit that he didn't know who this guy was, so he played along thinking, oh, yeah, we're big fans.
He had to.
Holy crap.
Imagine having to live that lie that whole weekend. Yeah, I don't really like talking about it. I think actually he said he used to. It was a used to, not current. But he's like, yeah, the old whip's not what it used to be. I mean, I was like, bro, I can listen to that story every day. It was so good. Imagine the terror and the panic when the dad and brother go, hey, man, come on outside. Let's throw a few. And you haven't thrown a ball since high school. You were just trying to, make sex to this girl, and it just didn't work out. It's incredible. This is one of my favorite stories. The legend.
Oh, man.
The legend.
We're running out of time. Let's get right to do this, Paulie.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
This was outstanding. Definitely the best thing I saw on the internet yesterday. It was
this is so good.
Yeah. John C. Reilly, if you have a post on social media and it says John C. Reilly does blank, I'm probably going to watch it. I think he is just outstanding. He's so funny. So he's in Comerica Park in Detroit to throw out the first pitch. But before he throws out the first pitch, and this had obviously been prearranged beforehand with the team because they have everything down to the second in these pregame ceremonies. And he gave a little shout out to a rock and roll legend who was in the building, Jack White.
To my friend Jack White. On three.
Happy birthday to Jack
White. 1, 2, 3. Happy
so rad.
Birthday to you.
Jack White looks embarrassed.
Come on, Detroit. Happy
Look at him. Hands over his face. Are you kidding me?
to you. Happy birthday.
Fantastic.
Really good.
Dear John.
Yeah, he has a band. He's a singer.
Happy
He does. Yeah. John Riley.
birthday to you.
A couple of my favorite human beings on the planet, man. Jack White and John C. Reilly. I watched Boogie Nights over last weekend. It's the best film ever made.
Stars they're a different breed.
Yeah.
To be able to stand there and not even just race through it, but to really lean into it and stretch out the happy birthday song in front of an entire ballpark of people.
Softest hands that I've ever felt in my whole life are Jack White's. But unquestionably. Softer than any woman's touch that I've ever had in my whole life. Jack White. Like,
where was he touching you?
I shook his hand.
Okay.
Yeah. The softest hands I've ever felt in my life, which it makes no sense. He like shreds guitar and his hands were like a baby's. Super soft. It's crazy.
I was thinking about it yesterday.
He's massive.
It's a fairly unlikely partnership there. John C. Reilly and Jack White are friends. And I'm like, well, maybe not, because from what I've been able to gather just on social media pictures over the years, I don't know that anybody out there doesn't like Jack White. Like, he is friends with everybody in so many different circles, actors, athletes like musicians, obviously.
Yep.
Like, he is everywhere. Everybody wants to be his friend. And I saw that yesterday. I was like, that's outstanding.
It was outstanding.
And it was a good singing by John C.
He's a
Reilly.
really talented musician as well. The guy can truly do it all. His poetry in Boogie Nights was through the roof. I love you. You love me. Going down the sugar tree. We'll go down the sugar tree. Damn it. I thought I had it. It's brilliant. He's just a brilliant actor. Playing, but the bees won't sting because you love me. Did you write that? Yeah, I did. I write songs too. I can't. It's my favorite movie. I can't get enough of it. No, I did not watch it with my children. Thanks for asking, Guzzinator. Would not let my kids watch Boogie Nights. I do.
Probably a good idea.
I do have lines that I've drawn.
Or at least you got to be at least 10 for that one.
That I don't want them seeing that ever. Honestly, it's so dark. It's so dark and disturbing. It's brilliant. All right, thank you, boys.
And that is don't and do this for a Thursday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, how about another birthday shout out to Jennifer in the chat. Listens all the way from Texas. Happy birthday to Asher. It is her son. It is his 7th birthday. Happy birthday.
Well, Ben will sing for you just like John.
Just like John. She's going to do or send a birthday shout out to my own son then. I haven't done it yet, but Asher, you go first, and then
happy birthday, Asher.
Happy birthday, Graham.
Happy birthday, Graham.
My Graham is now 20, which means I don't even have any teenagers anymore.
Nope, you're done.
I don't even have kids. I don't have kids.
You want mine?
No,
you can have
all
mine.
right.
They're yours.
You enjoy the next few years.
Yes. We had a night to ourselves last night, Hannah and I. We had no idea what to do with ourselves. None. My parents had them. No, absolutely not. Old monthly visitors here. Reared her ugly head. I'm sure she's happy about me telling everybody that.
Sure.
I'll hear about that in therapy.
You want me to dump that?
4 hours.
Still?
No, it's
No.
fine.
All right.
It's fine.
All right, we'll come back. In season, Sammy is going to join us. We'll talk some more Padres baseball. I don't know if he's got any different ideas than the ones that are not pleasing you out there that we have so far, but we'll talk to Sammy coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
We got mushrooms? What's that?
Oh, he's just keeping us loose.
Having some fun over here.
Gambling problem. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about 7 Mile Casino.
Casino.
So I had to go out and do a story near one of the other casinos and card rooms in town. Oh, so much driving, so much traffic, and it was so hot.
So much road rage
out there. And no, not disparaging anywhere else. They do things well. There's places. It's okay. But if you want to go play cards and you want a great environment and you don't want to drive way out into the East County, there's only one choice for you. It is 7 Mile Casino.
It's exactly right. Again, homestand, boys are in town. Head on down, pregame, postgame. during the game. Maybe it's more fun to go sit and play California style blackjack than watch the offense right now. Could be. I always have fun when I go to 7 Mile Casino. You guys will too. If you haven't been yet, please go check it out. Do it for us. Do it for Ben and Woods.
High limit players, they want you to know you are welcome. There are high limit games that are being spread. If you're a Texas Hold'em poker player doing that World Series thing right now, you get the itch to play a little bit. It's a great spot to sit down at a number of different limits, number of different tables, no limit. It's going on right now at 7 Mile Casino. Check it out today. And again, just hop on the 5 south to Chula Vista. You're on the west side of the freeway from E right onto Bay Boulevard. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
little bit of a discussion in the chat.
Don't be offended at what I just said.
So you go to marriage therapy. You
Every other
really,
week.
really good for you guys.
It's been incredible.
And
highly recommended.
The therapist's name is Dr.
Higgins.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
Really?
No relation.
It is. No relation.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
You didn't walk in the first day and be like, I
can't do this.
won't work
I
for
can't
me.
do this.
I don't.
No, she's incredible.
And you said during the break, no, you would be a terrible therapist.
The worst of all time.
And I thought, what? I am very fair.
Yes,
I'm
you
open,
are.
I'm open-minded.
Yes.
I definitely can see things from both side perspectives. I can get people to talk. I do that for a living. Get a dialogue going. That's exactly what I do.
But you don't listen. You're not.
Do the therapists really listen? They got all kinds of They got all kinds of clients. They're just pretending to listen.
She is the most active listener I have ever encountered, and she's brilliant. You're brilliant too, but at active listening, I give you about a 3 on the 1 to 10. So I'd be sitting there pouring my heart out, and Ben would be eyes glazed over, being like,
I just assumed they were fake listening.
They're
the whole
not
time.
fake listening. No, that's
That
their
the
job.
therapy comes in getting you two to talk and discuss things,
Which we do, but then you have to ask questions. You have to ask.
I ask lots of
He
questions.
would just be sitting there.
But you
and then
don't.
It'd be silence.
Ask
and then just
questions
hear,
every
like,
day.
This
He
therapy session is brought to you by Staples. Coming up next.
I had to get the read in. Sorry.
When we come back, you'll tell me about your childhood.
Yes, exactly.
And all your trauma.
It's just incredible.
So you're saying that being a radio host is not the same as being a therapist? I
Not
kind
at
of
all.
thought it was.
We have
similar.
there's a little bit of that in there, but no, I mean, it's hard to be a therapist for people when you in fact need therapy from this baseball team as well. Like it's I can't come in here and be like, hey guys, everything's going to be okay, because I'm with you. My gut churns every night when I see a runner in scoring position. It churns. I'm biting look at my nails. Look at these nails.
Last night was refreshingly.
It was kind of
unstressful.
easy. Yeah, I was definitely like playing on my phone more.
I'll admit there was a moment after the grand slam was like,
all right,
okay, I got a few minutes. I can go take care of things. Maybe they'll come back, make it a game. Maybe they won't, but I don't have to just sit every moment here. And once again, stressed by my nails.
Yeah.
And like every at bat seems like it's going to be critical for this game.
100%.
And I don't want that. I want the Padres to win one of those, not lose it.
Yep.
All right, Sammy's standing by.
Yeah,
In-season
Sammy.
Sam Levitt going to join us right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by the Salute to Heroes Golf Tournament, July 28th at Loma Santa Fe Country Club. Got an accident involving a motorcycle in the clearing stage. Stop on 15 past Rainbow Valley. Everything's over to the right shoulder. Watch out for a stalled car blocking the right lane of Leucadia Boulevard off-ramp. Southbound 5. And got a collision on eastbound 905 before Britannia. That's been moved over to the right shoulder. The Salute to Heroes Golf Tournament is back July 28th at Loma Santa Fe Country Club. Join sport legends and celebrities and tee off to support local heroes. Register now at SanDiegoSocialLeagues.org. That's SanDiegoSocialLeagues.org. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Paula, you were right about one thing. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Staples. And now we move on to in-season Sammy. Sam Levitt, our Padres pre- and post-game show host, joining us. And Sammy, I'm sure you're feeling the up and down kind of rut like everybody else. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one all month long for these San Diego Padres.
Yeah, it's I don't know what word you want to use. Frustrating, inconsistent. There's probably a number of words you could apply to it, but it's so interesting because you just zoom out on it. You look at really everything since the 15-4 start, and it feels like they have not played nearly their best baseball for a very extended. Again, you wake up this morning and they're sitting a game out of a playoff spot, which I think puts it a little bit of it in perspective and gives you a lot of hope for what the rest of this season could be. But I think it's safe to say they have to start playing, especially offensively, a better brand of baseball overall to ultimately get to where they want to go.
Yeah, it's tough, Sammy, because, you look up in the standings, the Dodgers have lost 6 in a row. The Giants have had their bad lulls this season. The Diamondbacks, I would say that they're underperforming expectations that they had going into the year. And yet we're right there. We are right there. And I think it is a good perspective to have. But, the thing that makes me insane is you watch the team on a nightly basis, and I have no doubt that they care. I have no doubt they have desire to win. But right now, the product on the field is just not clicking, and I don't know the reason why. And I don't think they know the reason why either. And it makes it a bit of a tough watch from night to night.
Well, I think you guys alluded to it a little bit earlier. I think the key question right now is this who they are? What we've seen over a 73-game stretch? I looked up some of the numbers before I came on, and this is since they started 15-4. So this is entering play on April 18th. We're talking about a stretch of 73 games now. 236 batting average, second to last in home runs, 27th in OPS, 27th in slug, 25th in runs scored. The run differential, which is kind of like the scariest number to me, especially considering they had a 21-0 game, a win, is at +4. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't go look at the standings and look at teams that have a negative run differential, because you're not going to want to be around them. So that, to me, is the key question. I don't believe this is who they are. I have to believe that just by the simple changes, developments of a guy like Fernando getting hot, Jackson Merrill getting out of this slump, that those numbers would change pretty quickly. But to me, that's the key question right now. Is there going to be a turnaround for this offense, or is this kind of who they are, which I hope it's not, but we're looking at a pretty extended stretch where they're just not scoring very many runs, and that's the simplest way you can put it. So to me, that continues to be the key question, even beyond the pitching, beyond Dylan Cease's struggles. A better offense could cure a lot of what ails them, and I just don't know the answer to that question right now, because we're looking at almost a half of a season where the offense by the numbers has just not been what you thought it would be. And you guys have discussed it at length. The bottom of the order isn't helping. What's going on down there? I think improvements there would help. Would it cure everything? I don't know, but it can't hurt them right now based on what's been going on offensively. So I think you hope there's a turnaround in there offensively, at least from your star players, a couple of whom could certainly play better.
Let's take a different tack on this. We keep trying to figure out what's going wrong. Last year, the Padres were in a similar situation. It wasn't quite win one, lose one. It was more like win 5, lose 5. And they were 500. They lost on July 19th to drop to 50-50. First game after the All-Star break in Cleveland. And then they went on a run where over the next month, essentially, they lost like 3 more times. And they scored a bunch of runs in those games. What did they do last year that got them going? We were all there. I mean, you did all the pre and post game shows. What was it that they did that worked so well under Mike Shildt in the second half? What do they need to get back to?
Well, I don't think it's a direct comparison, just because I felt like the lineup was a lot deeper last year.
It was.
And I think here's the other thing. I mean, go look at those offensive numbers last year, where they were for really the whole year. I mean, it was a very different offense overall. It was a deeper lineup. I don't know that you can make the comparison, because I feel like they're kind of two different teams. I also feel like in a pitching sense, starting rotation-wise, they were in a different place as well. So I don't know. I have trouble comparing this year to last year. I also have trouble, and you guys talked about it earlier, comparing it to 2023 as well. I mean, to me, that was a totally different situation where you were just waiting for them to turn it on. I also feel like, again, that team, I think on paper, you felt quite differently about. You didn't have necessarily the same problem at the bottom of the order. I don't know that I would compare this current situation to 23 or 24, but Ben, it's the key question. I don't have a great answer for it.
So I just went and looked at some of the box, just randomly some of the box scores from the winning streak, and it was so glaringly obvious what the difference was. Last year in July and August, they had Jackson Merrill usually hitting 6th or 7th and getting like 2-3 hits, home runs all the time. And they had Kyle Higashioka usually hitting like 9th, and he had a bunch of home runs. They were getting production. They were getting production out of the bottom of the order last year in that stretch when they were playing well. Now they get no production out of the bottom of the order, like 0, none at all. That was the biggest difference between last year and this year.
Yeah, I think it's right. I'm totally with you. I think I think it's a hard comparison because I think it was a very different offensive team and a very different lineup. So, how you fix that at the bottom of the order, unless you're going to make sweeping changes, I don't see how it improves in the immediate right now. But obviously, I think to get to where they want to go, it's one of the items they're going to have to figure out, no doubt.
All right, Sam, we'll let you go. I know it's been a long stretch here to get to the All-Star break with another pregame show tonight at 5:40. Always appreciate your appearances on the program.
All right, you got it, guys. Thanks.
In season, Sammy, again, 5:40 pregame shows. The Padres wrap up their 4-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight at 6:40 here on 97.3 The Fan. Yeah, they got to make some sort of change, catching position. They just can't keep going with nothing at all at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. Give me Brandon Valenzuela. Give me Luis Camposano. That's how down bad we are.
All right, real or fake, still coming up. Hour number 3 of Ben and Woods ahead on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we're halfway home on a Thursday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Appreciate you guys being here. Let us talk through it all with you. You know, reading your comments in the chat. I sense a lot of frustration. I get it. I'm totally with you. Totally with you every single night. 6:40, right by the tube, ready to be on the edge of my seat. It's part of the reason I love this game is that there's always tomorrow. You know, we don't have to wait 6 games in between 6 days in between another game. You just get right back at it. Try to right the ship. Never know what it's going to take to get a season turned around or a hitter turned around. It happens overnight sometimes, and I hope it happens for the San Diego Padres. I really do, because it's a lot more fun in here with you guys when they're winning. It's just a no-brainer. Now our ratings actually are better when they're losing, and it doesn't make any sense. 2023 may be the best year we've ever had as a show. I mean, our ratings were through the roof. I made more money I've ever made in my whole life. I didn't know what to do. I had so much money I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, this is insane for this job. 2023. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. Our ratings were so good. And I hear it all the time. Woodsy, you guys need this team to be good so people listen. I go, brother.
Exact opposite.
If they win 14 in a row, we still have nothing to talk about. The boys won again. I'd love to see it. Xander's hot. I mean, it's really harder. It's harder when they're playing well. It's very strange. Very, very strange how that works. But anyway, I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well.
You know what I find difficult? This is actually, for me, the most difficult part of the job is when the team alternates wins and losses.
It's really hard
because you can't ever really draw any conclusions whatsoever.
There's no conclusion to be made.
So you do one show one day and then the opposite show the next day. It's really tough, actually, to find patterns and themes. I mean, there are a few.
Well,
but
offense is one. I think
they're kind of the same ones.
Even when we won 1-0 the other night on a Luis Arias home run. So, but again, you come in that day and you talk about the brilliant pitching performance, and you know, you knew you were kind of lucky to get that win. You knew that Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. bailed you out. You had that to talk about. Dominic's right. People do love to complain, and they love to hate listen, and they want to hear, you know, they want to get mad if Ben turd polishes a little bit. They want to get mad at that, and I totally understand. It's part of the reason I love sports radio too. And you know, we are 90% Padres on this show, and I like that. I never want that to change. But it's tough. It's hard. So don't think we need the team to win. I want the team to win because I want the team to win. I like to watch winning baseball, and I'm a Padres fan. I want them to win because I like the dudes, and I really, really like the squad. So,
and we do want the season to go on as long as possible.
100%.
The deeper the run into the playoffs,
the more fun
clearly,
it is.
the better, the more fun, the better for the city it is. So we want that excitement, and it requires at least a minimum amount of winning to get there. You can't. All the negative drama in the world is great for topics and radio, but if you're out of it by the start of September, that's not a good thing. We want the Padres to be in it as long as possible. And one thing that I think sometimes is hard for baseball fans to acknowledge is that two things can be true at once. The Padres right now are a very uninspiringly mediocre team and have been for a while. Doesn't really affect their playoff chances that much, though, because making the playoffs is not, you don't have to like meet a minimum threshold. Like we have to be this good to make the playoffs. No, you just have to be one of the 6 best teams in the National League. And right now, and we'll talk about this during the roundtable coming up at 10 o'clock, who are you sure that the Padres are worse than in the National League? Are you sure they're worse than the Giants? Are you sure they're worse than the Cardinals? Are you sure they're worse than the Reds?
No.
Because you don't watch those teams every day. But the fans that do are also going, man, our team stinks. Man, they are uninspiring. Man, we play a lot of bad games. And it's true. The Giants are pretty uninspiring. They got whacked 13-0 yesterday. The Cardinals, they got obliterated by the Nationals 8-2 yesterday. These are the teams that the Padres are battling right now for the last playoff spot. Brewers have been playing well lately, so you know they're right now in the second spot. But the Padres look good against the Brewers. They took 2 or 3 in Milwaukee when they went there. Are you sure the Brewers are better? I mean, they got some pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was cheering for the Dodgers in this series. They're the team that worries me. But the Giants, they're mid. The Cardinals, they're mid. The Reds, they're mid. The Diamondbacks are still under 500 even after taking 2 of 3 so far in this series. who are you worried about most of those teams right now?
Easy. I'm worried about the San Diego Padres.
Right.
That's the one that that's where my focus is. I don't want to get to a point where it's like, oh man, what did the Cards do? And we're baseball fans. That's how you grew up. You grew up looking at the standings going, oh yes, Dodgers lost 6 in a row, even though they beat the wild card team, in front of you. It kind of needed them to win, but they didn't, and it still makes me happy. I don't want to get to the point in September where I'm hanging on the edge of every friggin' Cardinals game. You know what I mean? Like, I want the Padres to handle business.
Is there anything worse than waiting and your fate depending on another team's outcome at the end of the year? I hate that more than anything in sports.
It's the worst. Remember that time we clinched in a loss a couple years back?
2022.
We clinched the playoffs in a loss. And like, the Padres have made the playoffs with a Cardinals loss, and everyone's
they clinched in like the 7th inning and then lost the game. I was there for that, and it was
epic.
like the weirdest thing. Like,
it was
the guys,
so weird
because you walk off the field, you go right into the clubhouse after a home loss, and yet there were like team employees out on the field with T-shirts because you clinched, hats. And they're like, the players all came back out. They're like, yeah, I guess I'll take a hat
it's
or a
so
shirt.
funny, man. It's so funny. Yeah, backing your way in, though, is still getting in. There's no question.
Nate is in the chat. Don't put inaccurate words in my mouth. Nate says, Ben saying mid is great. I'm not saying mid is great.
I think thinks he likes you saying the word mid.
Oh, Ben saying mid.
Ben saying mid makes him laugh.
No, I'm not saying that.
Mid is great.
This team is mid. They're great.
No. I think that's
okay.
I think that's what,
because
everyone's a little on edge right now.
Bill says doesn't matter scoreboard watching if we can't win, but they do win. They win every other day.
Yeah.
Have you not noticed? This Padres team wins every other day. They also lose every other day.
Yes.
Which goes back to the who was it that was it Bill James or Bill Simmons? One of them was said.
One of the Bills.
One of the Bills said, rooting for a team around 500 is the hardest thing in baseball.
It's so freaking hard.
Because when you have a good team and they lose, it's like, of course it happens. You're going to have a bad day every once in a while. When you have a bad team, you just get used to it and you go, it's just not our year. But when you're around 500, every game feels so important and so...
Like every game,
a
every
referendum
week, you're
on
like,
your team.
this is the week we get going.
They feel more like it's more like a football game every day.
Yeah.
It's always a referendum on your team. Where do you stand right now? Every single day. The Dodgers fans don't do that. They don't have to. Even a 6-game losing streak is not really a referendum on their team.
They're freaking out.
Are they?
Are you kidding?
Why?
They are freaking out. Well, they're saying this team's not good enough. You got this guy here and James Outman, and I see it every day. So they're not immune to the panic. Right. No team is immune to the panic.
But they should be asking the same question I just asked. All right, you think your team isn't good enough.
Who's going to get you?
Who's better? Who are you worried about then? Which team is really terrifying you at this moment if you're the Dodgers?
And I laugh, too, because I know Mookie's having a down year, but Mookie Betts is a championship caliber player. Mookie Betts will figure it out at some point. Now, the bad luck for all of us, bad news for all of us, it'll probably be when it matters the most. If it's me, I don't really care that Mookie Betts is struggling in June, July. I really don't. Like, I know what he's capable of. I don't think he's washed by any stretch. He's having a bit of a down year, but they have so much firepower, Ben, that they're getting back. And again, they're the scariest team at the trade deadline by far. I mean, they're already talking about Johan Duran there. Emmanuel Clase has been mentioned there. Stupid. I mean, it's absolutely stupid. Blake Trinan's on a rehab. Like, they're going to be ridiculously ridiculous.
I do like knowing that, hey, this kind of slump is in them. They can lose 6 in a row. And if it happens in October, then they will be done quickly. If it does happen in October, they can be done just as quickly as any other team in baseball.
For sure. I mean, and again, I do think this is a right statement to make. Better now to slump than later. Now, there's no guarantee that Jackson Merrill will there's no guarantee that later on in the season they'll get it figured out. None. But it does make us feel a little bit better to say, hey, I'd rather have these guys scuffling now in July than in September, October. Doesn't mean they won't scuffle in September, October. We saw them fall off a cliff. We saw them fall off a cliff.
True on both counts. In fact, this is a fairly common time of the year that offenses can scuffle a little bit.
It is.
You're at the very long stretch of the very long first half of the season before the All-Star break. It is not uncommon. You're also absolutely right. Just because they're scuffling now, you want to think, that means they're going to turn it around later and they'll be playing their best baseball when it counts. It doesn't work that way.
It's in the sports radio handbook, though. So I can flip. Let me turn to page 69 in the sports radio
They could get going
handbook.
in like the last week of August and the first 2 weeks of September
and then fall off a cliff.
And then fall off a cliff again.
I just turned to page 69 in the sports radio handbook. It's been passed down for generation to generation. I have a copy of it here. And it says,
You got a problem.
He wrote it.
It says, guys, just get to the break, have a nice reset, come out firing second half. There it is, 69, page 69 in the sports radio handbook. Get to the break. Don't limp into the break. Win a couple of these games. Go out strong. Get a nice breather. Come on back. Reset mentally and ready for a really brilliant second half, which, by the way, again, page 70, sports radio handbook. If I go to the Mike Schilt page, Mike Schilt traditionally in his career has been a better second half manager than the first. Never won fewer than 90 games.
That's correct.
That's correct. It's on the Mike Schilt page. So all of these things, I sit and go, okay. Now, I did think yesterday when I was watching the game, and I get that stressy feeling, and I go and get some crackers and some cheese, drink a little apple juice. I'm sitting at the table and I go to myself, what are you bitching about? You had them picked at 81 and 81 this season. I'm like, they're exceeding my expectations. What am I even complaining about? I had them as a 500 baseball team based on the Jason Haywards, the Martin Maldonados of the world, the Stephen Kolicks of the world, who's been okay at times, not putting it all on just those guys. But I said, you had them as a 500 team. What are you bitching about? What are they over? 7 over 500?
6 games over 500.
Oh, they're crushing my expectations right now. So there you go. 81 and 81. What are they on pace for right now? I don't do pace very well.
You don't do pace very well. Probably about 88 wins right now.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know that that'll get it done. Teams are playing a little bit better than we thought. It's going to be a tougher scene to get in the wild card this year, but I had them at 81 and 81. That helps me sleep at night.
Head-to-head matchups the rest of the year against the Giants and the Cardinals are going to be very key.
Massive.
Very key.
Massive, massive, massive. We're done with the Diamondbacks after.
No, that you get some more later.
Do we? We have more later in the year?
Yeah.
We have only 2 more series against the Dodgers.
Correct.
So what? Probably 1 more against the D-backs?
2 more, I think.
2 more?
Is this the third against the D-backs?
Yeah. 2 more against. We got at Arizona first week of August.
Okay.
And then we end the season with 3 at home. Well, we got 3 against the Brewers, and then we end it with the weekend series here at Petco against the Diamondbacks.
Those 3 against the Brewers late could be important too.
Nasty.
September.
We're on pace for 86.3 wins, says Adam Klug.
September, you'll have a lot of winnable games. It's how you do in August. That's what's going to really determine.
Well, again, going back to page 69, Paulie, they will be nice and refreshed from the All-Star break, maybe into the second half of July and then into early
August. You have 2 series against the Giants, 2 series against the Dodgers, a series against the Mariners, who are decent. You do have the Cardinals. That could be pivotal. You got the Red Sox. That's a chance you're going to have to win 2 or 3 at home against the Red Sox. And you got the Twins. So a little bit of both. Winnable games and very important division games.
Yes, and then in the last month, you got some Rockies, you got some White Sox, I'd imagine. There's
White Sox, Orioles, Reds.
They're giving up.
Rockies.
They're starting to sell. The Orioles are starting to sell.
They had a trade today, didn't they?
Traded a reliever to the Tampa Bay Rays for a draft pick.
Brian Baker.
Obviously, the Rockies will be out of it. Doesn't make you non-dangerous, but you do have an opportunity, like Mike Schilt has done in the past, go on those September winning streaks. Remember the Cardinals team that won, 17 in a row, to get to the playoffs in September.
Oh, what happens?
So you're never totally out of it this season because of that September and that Mike Schilt. Page 70, you said, the Mike Schilt page?
Page 70 is Mike Schilt.
If August hurts you, then September may not matter.
That's the thing. Yeah.
But yes, you end the season. The last 2 weeks of the season look like on the road, you coming off a home stand in which you have the Rockies for 4 games. Then you got a day off, and then you're on the road in New York to take on the Mets. Then you go to take on the White Sox for 3. Then you come back home to finish the season, 3 against the Brewers, 3 against the Diamondbacks.
Mama, this is what we signed up for, Padres fans. Hopefully we are still in it those last 6 games.
And as you said, none of us started the season with the expectations that the Padres would cruise
to 95 wins
to a playoff berth this year.
No, we knew it was going to be tough. Yeah, would you say they're playing under or over expectations right now?
They kind of
At
reset our
6
expectations with how well they played in the first month.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
they really did
move the goalposts
because it's over really what we thought in spring training, and then under where they reset us to by playing so well at the beginning of the year. If we had never seen that,
which averages out to, they're
Padres,
probably right around where they.
Yeah,
if
we had never seen that version of the Padres, we'd be kind of probably saying, "Yeah, look at this plucky team that is hanging around in the playoff race longer than a lot of people thought they would." But they just keep hanging on. They're still, a few games over 500. But because we saw how good they could play early in the season, when it looked like they might not ever lose a game. I mean, they looked so good.
It was a fun 3 weeks.
It naturally reset our expectations a little bit.
Yeah. Offense definitely underperforming. I'd say pitching is overperforming most of the time. Dylan Cease
way
overperforming. Just phenomenal work from those guys. I'm so happy that they have that at least to keep you in ball games. But man, I don't know. Our beloved Grace says, I'm thinking about the first 2 weeks of the season when y'all said there was almost nothing to talk about because it was going so well, what we wouldn't give. I said, I miss it so much. Would love to see this team get on a run. They're deserving of it. We are deserving of it. And, hopefully it's in the cards.
Woods, we're going to try to help you out a little bit for your trip to Manchester coming up in Real or Fake.
You guys giving me some cash?
Next segment. No, we're giving you some. We're giving you some advice, some information, news you can use, as it were, and a chance to qualify. First qualifier for the grand prize trip to Las Vegas. If you can get 4 out of 7 right on Real or Fake, call us now to be our contestant, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. That is coming up in our next segment of Ben and Woods after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, always want to make sure you have your affairs in order before you travel or do anything, unusual. And you can do so very easily by going to trustandwill.com. Woods and I did it back way over the holidays, and we now have the documents that we can just store away, hopefully for a very long time. But you just have that peace of mind knowing that your will and trust or will is set up for you in case you do ever need it.
Yeah, no question about it. It's a peace of mind that is so valuable to me. And if you have a family out there, I mean, there's just no question. I'm so embarrassed it took me so long, but finally got it done. Went to trustandwill.com. When you check out, make sure you use the code FAN, F-A-N. That's 20% off. 20% off is no joke, by the way. That's not 5% off. That's 20% off plus free shipping of your estate documents. They'll send them over to you. Throw them in the desk. Forget about it.
Don't subject your loved ones to the hassle of probate court, time and expense when you can be easily avoidable without a trip to a lawyer's office simply by going to trustandwill.com. Use that code FAN, 20% off and free shipping at trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
We'll dive into all of these Padres issues and more tomorrow for the Manager's Report with Mike Schultz at 9 a.m. here on Ben & Woods. The Manager's Report is refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925.
So I'm to understand you're leaving me with Mike Schultz solo.
Correct. Is there something you'd like me to do about that?
Yes, I want you to record your questions, and we will play them for
Pre-record.
Pre-record, yeah.
And Paulie will just hit the button when it's my turn to ask a question?
Correct.
Can do that.
I think it's fun.
You don't think Mike Schultz will think that's somewhat odd?
I think he will 100% think it's somewhat odd,
that.
which is exactly why I'm doing it.
What if
You might think I'm nuts.
I know you might think we're nuts.
What if he doesn't like one of my questions? And then he can't challenge me on it because I'm not actually there.
That's
really
it.
cool.
That's it. That's what I want. I want you to ask him the gnarly questions because you won't be here to get
Hold
the
his
answer.
feet to the
Hold
fire.
his feet to the fire. You big softy.
From the road.
From the road.
And then you just play the role of the hero coming in.
Yes, and I'll go, isn't he insane,
Isn't he the
Schulty?
worst?
So sorry, man.
I'm on your side, Schulty.
I got your back, dog. I got you, man. You know how we do it. Lockstep.
All right, you know how we do it on a Thursday. No musical trivia required. It is time for Real or Fake. Let's get to it.
Some are here for the compelling sports talk with Ben and Woods. Yeah, you can go plow through another donut. It's time for Real or Fake on 97.3 The Fan. Tell the people what they'll win today.
So much to win. In fact, just for playing, our contestant is going to get a $50 Better Buzz gift card. Better Buzz still coming in hot with their Summer Flings menu. Try the coconut best drink ever or the tropical Buzz energy. Keep it cool this summer. Love it first sip for a limited time only at Better Buzz Coffee. And if you can successfully get 4 out of 7 right on Real or Fake, you will qualify for our grand prize 2-night stay at the Park MGM and 2 tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th, along with a $100 gas card. Get your own tickets for Motley Crue at Ticketmaster.com. And who do we have, Paulie?
Ryan.
Ryan. Good morning, Ryan.
Morning.
All right, you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, the rules are very simple. We just have to get the real from the fake separated, 4 out of 7 right. And in honor of Woods making his trip to Manchester next week, we're going to help him prepare with this game of real or fake. I will give you a word or phrase, Ryan. You tell me if it's a real piece of British slang.
Yes.
or a fake I have made up for today's game.
Boy, there's a couple I hope you don't use.
I have tried to keep it clean, at
Okay.
least for
We're not
radio
gonna get in
purposes.
trouble here.
So,
All right.
if it's real British slang, you say real. If it's fake, you say fake. Ryan, you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Round one. Squinty. Squinty. Real or
Squinty, that
fake?
sounds real.
It
Sounds
does
real?
sound real, yeah.
It's fake.
Made
It's all
it
right.
up.
That's all right. We have lots of comeback wins in this game. All right, let's go round number 2. Chuffed. Chuffed. Real or fake British slang?
That's real.
It's real.
That is.
Yeah.
What does it mean, you know?
Like bothered.
No, wrong.
Opposite.
Happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Chuffed.
bothered.
Chuffed.
I thought
In a
Mike
good
Schilt was
mood.
going to be chuffed tomorrow. I
Hopefully he
promise
will
you
be.
he won't be. I promise
The
you he will
Padres
not be
win, I might be
chuffed.
at least a little bit chuffed. No, it means happy. See, this is why we're helping you out. You were going to
I
totally
would have sound like an idiot.
You're going to totally
Man, I'm
misuse
chuffed. Good for you,
the
bud.
wrong way. All right, that's one. Let's go to round number 3. Skint. Skint. Real or
Yeah.
fake?
Yeah. Yep.
Real?
I don't know. Can I ask what?
Yes, it's
absolutely.
real. Skint is real.
What do you think?
It's real, 100%.
Real?
Yep.
All right, let's go with real.
No idea what
It
it
is. Means you're broke.
Broke.
Got no money. You're skint.
Skint.
All right. Well, thank you. Wood.
All right, that's 2. You're halfway home.
All right, let's get it.
All right, ready. Round 3. Bog roll. Bog roll. Real or fake?
Bog roll. That's real.
No, I would have said fake. No way.
That's what they call toilet paper.
Bog
A
roll.
bog roll.
This is incredibly informative.
It's water closet or the bog, and you go into the bog, you have a bog roll
Bog
ready
roll.
to clean yourself up. All right, you're a 1 away from a win. This is pretty easy here. All right, round number 5, Ryan. Bell end. Bell end. Real or fake, Ryan?
That's fake.
No.
That one's real. Stupid, annoying person.
You're such a bell end.
Yeah. you need
Bell
that
end,
one.
like the end of a bell?
Bell
like a bell
end
end?
is such a good word.
It's technically not the end of the bell. It's something that looks like at the bell. It's the end of something else, is what they're referring to. It's kind of dirty.
That's what it means? I had no earthly
That's what it
idea.
means. Yeah.
What a bell end.
Yeah, as Goose says, a D head.
Yeah.
That's their version of a D head. A bell
That's
end.
incredible. Bell end.
Yep, exactly. All right, that's all right. You still got 2 chances left. All right, here we go. Round number 6. Gritch. Gritch. Real or fake, Ryan?
Rich. Woods, what do you think?
I think fake, man.
He thinks fake.
All right, I'm gonna ride with Woods.
You gonna ride with Woods? You're correct.
Yeah,
Nice job. That is fake. Naffle.
Real.
Fake.
What is? Oh, never mind.
It's nothing. It's
It's
nothing.
nothing.
Ryan, stay on the line. You get the Better Buzz gift card. You're into the drawing, and the only one for Las Vegas. That is a big win
I want
today for Ryan.
Ryan to get to Motley Crue because I want him to cover it for us. I would like to get because I want to know what it sounds like, what it looks like, the whole thing.
Have him call in the night
the
after.
whole thing.
All right.
I really need coverage on that.
All right, we will take a quick timeout. When we come back, you tweeted something last night about getting your fill, even of mediocre baseball, while you've got it.
Paulie.
You want to know what this? There you go.
I'm sure they fixed it all by now. They're
Totally
fixed.
I hate that so much, Paulie.
He's just saying like half of every word.
Every
Hey, hi,
We are on the path, unfortunately, toward potential labor Armageddon in baseball.
Lockout.
We've got some new bad news for you on that front coming up.
Kickstart this offense.
Yeah.
Next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Wanted to tell you guys quickly, though, what a segue that was. Maybe Vince Neal could use a little QC Kinetics. Got to be move around a little bit more. If you woke up this morning, you're not feeling great. You got joint pain. Let's get you some relief right now. QC Kinetics offering free laser treatments all through July. When you schedule your complimentary consultation, give them a call to book it. You've heard me talk about for a long time now how they help me get relief in my wrists, Their innovative non-surgical treatments for joint pain. During your first visit, they'll do a free laser treatment on the area that's been bothering you. It does help decrease the pain, calm the inflammation, and increase your range of motion. They'll also review x-rays or MRIs as well. So if you need a second opinion, that is the place to go to. Long-term relief for your pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back without going under the knife. Advanced regenerative therapies like PRP, platelet-rich plasma, which I've done, the cellular treatments that target the problem at its source. I would be nowhere without QC Kinetics. I mean, truly, truly nowhere. You got nothing to lose. Got a free laser treatment to gain just by booking your free consultation this month. QCkinetics.com. Why wait? Let's get you feeling better today. Call QC Kinetics. Let them know Woodsy sent you. The number is 619-614-PAIN. 619-614-PAIN. QC Kinetics can be reached at 619-614-PAIN.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place.
Seems so simple. Padres need help catching. Their minor league catchers are raking.
They're tearing it up.
As they always have been. Luis Camposano, 14th home run of the season, doubled last night, leading El Paso to a 7-3 win over Las Vegas. He has literally been the best hitter in AAA this year.
Crazy.
Of course, he's 0 for 18 in the big leagues.
Yep.
Brandon Valenzuela had a 3 runs driven in, 2 hits, 2-run single in the ninth to lead San Antonio to a 6-4 win. He's been very solid. The 757 OPS, not as good of a hitter's league, but he's been good as well. But will they ever perform on the big league level? That's the question.
Will they get a chance to perform on the big league level? And if not now, when? If not now.
If not now.
Yeah. They have to be every day waking up, going to their phones and going, 0 for 4.
It is interesting that Luis Camposano started at first base yesterday for, I think, like the 5th time this season rather than catching. Is that a sign that they're looking for a spot again for him? I mean, they've tried him a few times.
Could also just be a sign of we want his hot bat in the lineup and we want to get him, out of the squat for a while.
The minor leagues are not, it's not all about winning, but they still they like to win.
Well, yeah. And also like when they see a player performing and hitting to his capabilities, they don't want to take him out of the lineup. It's good for the player. Keep him in, keep him rolling, hot hand, all that. So I think just getting him off his knee, as it were, behind the dish and open it up a little bit for him to go out and play some defense at first base. And I don't know how he's played defensively at first base right now. But again, the more options you have, the better. But again, I don't know what the trust level is with Luis Camposano. I think I know just based on the lack of opportunity this season. He's had plenty of opportunity in the past to seize that spot and has not done it. He just hasn't done it in his tenure here.
But as we've shown, Mike Schilt may trust his guys behind the plate now to call a good game and manage a pitching staff, but he can't possibly trust. He's not trusting them to hit
or produce really defensively either.
Right. He has eyes. He may not vocalize what we vocalize, but he has eyes.
Yeah.
He knows that neither Elias Diaz nor Martin Maldonado are performing at anywhere near an acceptable level.
Correct. He did say something last night, and I saw his quote taken out of context this morning, and I went and read it. But he essentially said, look, I manage the pieces that I have, essentially. This is I try to make the best I can with the roster that I currently have. And I don't think it was a shot at AJ Preller or anything like that. But I think that's what pretty much every manager gets to the point in the season where he says, hey man, like this is what I have right now. We talked to Torey Lovullo yesterday. Remember what he told us? He goes, yeah, I asked him, I said, trade deadline's looming. You guys are not playing up to where you thought you would be. You've had some injuries, whatever. And he goes, yeah, but when I see Mike Hazen, I tell him every time, buy. I want better players. Like, I need better players. I want guys that can help. Not a slight against the guys on his own team, but he wants his team to improve. And I think every manager gets that point in the season, Benny, where they have to say, look, these are the paints that I have. Here's the canvas. This is all I can use. I don't have this other these 2, 3, 4 cool paints that I can use. You're going to get what I got.
I don't know what the exact situation is at the moment between Mike Schilt and AJ Preller, but I can tell you historically, I think AJ is the more impatient of the two. Like, he wants to do things, and Schilt's a little more like, give me some more time with my guys that I have sort of manager.
I think we're speculating
a little bit,
but maybe that's the case. There's mixed feelings about Luis Camposano and what he can do at the big league roster. No one's ever really been able to pin down who's on Team Campy and who's not. We have our thoughts, we have our ideas. It's pure speculation, but I don't know. At this point, how do you look at what you currently have back there and say, yeah, he's way worse? I mean, defensively, I think last year he was the worst catcher in baseball. I'm pretty sure. If it wasn't the bottom, he was like second to last. But I'm watching the highlight last night of Dylan Cease and Campy jumping into his arms after the no-hitter. The record with him behind the plate was actually very, very good. What's it hurt? What does it hurt at this point? Like, what does it possibly hurt to try it?
Meanwhile,
you're already getting no production. Yeah. What are you going to do? Just continue to get more no production? Fine. Like, you're already getting no production.
Meanwhile, are we heading toward nuclear war between baseball owners and players?
It's so scary. This one is so serious.
We will talk about it right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Islands Restaurants. Got a few problems here. Southbound 805 at the eastbound King Freeway connector ramp. Vehicle hit the guardrail over to the right shoulder. Also, 2-car collision on northbound 805 before Murray Ridge. That's over to the right shoulder. Coastline rides up on 5 before La Costa, getting a stalled car out of the fast lane. We've also got a collision involving a motorcycle southbound 15 just past the 78. It's in the center divide. And a 2-car collision southbound 67 Bradley Avenue off-ramp. It's over to the right shoulder. Islands Restaurants, summer refreshment, paradise ambience, and the best burgers in town, like the Big Wave with cheese and fresh cut fries. $10 now for a limited time only. Visit one of our Islands restaurants throughout Southern California today. Dine in only. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
From The Athletic's Evan Drellick, who is one of the most connected national baseball writers out there, a piece yesterday that Rob Manfred is behind the scenes, and you shouldn't be surprised by this, pushing for a salary cap when the new collective bargaining agreement talks will happen at the end of next season, at the end of the 2026 baseball season, which, of course, has always been the red line from the players' union, that they will, under no circumstances in the past, accept a salary cap. It's what cost us the 1994 baseball season and what nearly got us into trouble just a few years ago when spring training was delayed and they almost, had to, they did have to push back the first week of the regular season, got all the games in, but that was always the big sticking point between owners and players. And now we seem to be headed toward that direction again in about 14 months.
I like the fact that they're talking about it. I like they're not, but so yesterday on Foul Territory, Fair Territory, it was, who is it? Bruce Meyer. He is the second in command at the MLB PA behind Tony Clark. He went on that show and he said this: it's kind of a continuation of a pattern that's gone on for decades, which is the other side tries to go directly to players, tries to create divisions between players. The league and some of the individual owners have made no secret that they would like to see a system that they tried to get for 50 years, which is a salary cap system. And the pitch is, hey, this is really good for players. And one of the things the players immediately seize on is, well, if it's so good for us, why are you pushing it so hard? I mean, absolutely. Why do they want it so desperately? Why do the other leagues lock out players to get it? Guys immediately understand the reason they want that system is not because they want to pay players more. There are some teams, Ben, that will obviously be affected by this. What would happen, just say, to the Mets or the Dodgers or the Yankees or even I think we are the 9th highest payroll in baseball, the San Diego Padres, the salary cap on a team. What happens? You're not going to have to forfeit players to get under a salary cap. You just get grandfathered in. Everybody that has their current contract stays at their. What do you do? Like the logistics of it seem to be a nightmare.
True, and they would have to figure that out in negotiating. But I don't think that Rob Manfred is completely lying. A salary cap system like the NBA or NFL, which also contains salary minimums, would be good for certain players. And of course, it would be bad for other players. In the NBA, who is the salary cap bad for?
It's bad for
star players like
players.
LeBron James, who LeBron makes an insane amount of money, like $50-something million a year last year. We just saw Devin Booker sign for $70+ million for the next 2 years.
A 2-year deal for $145.
But in a full, non-salary cap, free market environment, stars like that would be making well over $100 million a year. So owners save quite a bit. Now, it's good for kind of the mid-level younger players who get to reap the benefits of these salary floors. Like every team has to spend. All of a sudden, I was making $800,000. Now I'm making $3.5 million. That's a huge win for certain players and a huge loss. So when Bruce Meyer says they're trying to pit players against each other, that's going to happen regardless, because there's no one size fits all solution in a union where you have a bunch of different players at different points in their career making totally different amounts of money. There's always going to be guys who go, I love this plan, and guys who go, I hate this plan.
Yeah, I was about to hit I was about to hit free agency, and I was about to cash in on it, like a Kyle Tucker or something, right? Who's about to cash in on a huge deal, whether it's from the Cubs,
Pete Crow Armstrong,
right? Like all these guys that at PCA has not signed an extension.
Right?
They offered him one. He goes, no, I'm not signing. You better now, honestly. Like at this point, if you're PCA, I'd probably go back and see if that's on the table, because God only knows what's going to happen in this next period. So this was interesting too. Meyer said you really can't have them in cap systems the way our players have them. In football, this is the most obvious. Every free agent period is like a bloodbath. They're cutting players at all levels, Pro Bowlers, middle-class players, to try to squeeze in a salary for a quarterback. Even the quarterbacks they go to continuously and say, well, would you take less so we can sign this guy? Happens all the time. So I don't know. It doesn't bode well. And people that I know that are agents, people that I know that are in the industry are like, brace yourself. Brace yourself for this. It would be so devastating to the game of baseball. So devastating.
To bring it back to the Padres, and this is, we only got like 3 or 4 minutes here. This is probably a much bigger conversation, but you're looking at I would even say probable lockout after the 2026 season.
Yep.
AJ Preller, his contract's up after the end of the 2026 season.
That one or this one?
It's after next year.
Okay.
So he would be, after this year, he's entering into a lame duck year, right? Like, what's to stop him from going all out? He's got to get some more job security again on another extension, right? So, like, you're looking at 1 or 2 seasons potentially of like losing Manny's prime, and Xander's getting 2 years older now. Musgrove, all these guys are getting older. Like, why wouldn't, if you're AJ Preller, you don't care about the future necessarily?
It's weird because he does. He puts so much emphasis on. He does though. I know so much emphasis on scouting for I don't think he thinks 2 years down the road. I think he thinks like, well,
should he be thinking 2 years down the road?
Okay, I think he does. And I think, this Cuban prospect that they're talking about signing out of Cuba, 16-year-old shortstop, phenomenal talent. I think he's available to sign January of 26. Padres are rumored to be the front runners for him. He's always got his eye down the road. But I think if you're a GM, you kind of know your time is limited. Everybody has a shelf life at some point. So I just need to do the job I have to do every day. I need to improve the big league roster. I don't think what he's going to do is go in and like a drunken sailor and say, hey, I'll give you Leo and Ethan and give me Luis Robert, Luis Robert Jr. to come out. I don't think he's going to drunken sailor.
Is secure as any GM in baseball. So I think he's going to keep GMing for both the short run and the long run, like he's always done.
I don't disagree with that at all, but I don't know. trying to put yourself in his shoes, and you're like, man, staring at a lockout here in a couple of years.
Well, the one thing he has to do, what he has to do is keep up this fever pitch for this team. He has to. That's you cannot let the water subside at all from the flood that has been the San Diego Padres over the last 5-6 years. You cannot temper the enthusiasm of this fan base by standing pat or adding a G-Man Choi at this deadline and calling it a day, right? You have to keep the train rolling. It's hard to do.
The one thing that I hope everybody agrees on and understands is that the players and the owners should both know that if they lock out and seriously lose a bunch of baseball, it hurts both of them. Because last time it happened, it took 4 years and a whole lot of steroids to get people back to ballparks and revenues back up in Major League Baseball.
That one, and people were like, I am done officially. And I saw it yesterday. I retweeted the article. I said, you better snort up all the baseball you can get these next year and a half.
But neither side can really afford to lose any games.
Boy, you just can't do it, man.
I mean, they will have to negotiate. Will it ultimately end up with a salary cap? Probably not the way that basketball and footballs look. Is there room to get the Rockies and the Pirates of the world to start spending some more money and maybe even strengthen the luxury tax penalties a little harder so they look a little more like a salary cap without calling it a salary cap? That's probably where we're ultimately heading. In my opinion, we'll just see how painful it is to finally get there after 2026. All right, we'll come back. Smart Baseball. We've got a replacement for Eno Saris. Padres blogger Dylan. Letters from AJ next. Final hour of Ben and Woods. Usually on Thursdays, we have Eno Saris from The Athletic who joins us for our Smart Baseball segment. Eno is traveling to Germany this week. So we thought, let's try to find someone who's smart, but with a little more of a Padres-centric bent today. So we're excited to join the show for the first time is Letters from AJ. Padres Letters to AJ,
Yep.
Sorry. Padres blogger Dylan
We're not
is with
reading
us
AJ
here.
Preller's
Letters from
diary.
AJ.
Dear Diary, what has happened to my offense?
We still can't hit.
Dear Diary.
Sorry,
Captain's
Dylan.
log, day 69. Still no grand slam.
Still no grand slam.
Yeah, we both read his Substack. All three of us read the
Brilliant.
Substack posts regularly, and it's a pleasure to have you on, Dylan. Good morning.
Thanks. Good morning.
So have you
that sounds,
have you
I would be
actually
interested to read a Substack that is a fan
Letters from
fiction
AJ.
yeah,
AJ Preller diary.
it would be the greatest thing of all time. Now, have you actually written any letters to AJ Preller? Because if not, I think that's something I would like you to start doing at some point.
No, never directly.
Okay, indirectly. Your content is brilliant, and I'm going to say this: it's the highest compliment that I can pay. When I read your stuff, I want to quit covering baseball. Just so you know, I read it and I go, I've played this game my whole life. I love this game. I watch every game. I know nothing. I know nothing about this game right now. How do you see it through the lens in which you see it through?
I just kind of just draw on like playing baseball my entire life. And it's mostly just writing about what we're talking about on the group chat while we're watching the game.
Yeah.
So there's always something.
Always.
And when it seems like, I don't know, what's the answer to this question that we're ruminating on? There's something about writing that it kind of distills, ideas that might be bouncing around into your head into something that's coherent. So the process of writing really helps you understand whatever you're writing about.
One of the things that I think has been a theme for a lot of Padres fans who cover and follow the team closely is where this team can improve at the trade deadline and why it shouldn't actually be that hard. Do you share that opinion that AJ Preller should have a path to make this team better without giving up a ton in terms of minor league talent?
Yeah, I do. I think you can improve significantly without selling the farm, and that should be the strategy. The farm's important. The future's important. Got some big contracts that are locked up. But the struggles, by now, everybody's pretty familiar with it. It's been tough to get production out of left field, which is typically where you're getting one of your most productive bats in the lineup. And the catching situation, whatever value is being brought through leadership, through pitch management, it just seems like it's outweighed by the struggles on the offensive side, which they've been profound. You look at the struggles more recently with runners in scoring position. If you actually tally the at-bats by, we'll call it like the starter cohort, Cronenworth, Tatis, Sheets, Arise, Machado, Merrill, Bogarts, they've gotten 481 at-bats with runners in scoring position this year. That's about 2/3 of the at-bats for the whole team. That's what you'd expect, but you've got a long cohort of Bryce Johnson, Jason Hayward, Brendan Lockridge, Tyler Wade, Jose Iglesias, Oscar Gonzalez, Yuli Gurriel, Diaz, Campisano, Maldonado, Joe, McCoy, Ornelas, Brooks. They've gotten the other third of your at-bats, and that is where profound struggles have happened with runners in scoring position. They've hit 183 collectively. And if you just consider how much more production would have come from that second cohort had they been just average, that's 45 more hits with runners in scoring position. Translate that into, however many extra runs. You think we could have had a better record with 45 more extra runs this year?
Yeah, there's no question about
60 more runs instead of a +4 run differential, +64. That's at least 5 or 6 more wins, probably.
Well, yeah, one would think. Yeah, and then you're talking you're 14 games over, you're 13 games over, 11 games over 500, whatever it may be, and in a much better position. And, you watch this team. We're talking to our pal Dylan, Letters to AJ, writes a brilliant Substack. He's on Twitter as well. Give him a follow and read his stuff. It will make you feel like a moron because it certainly does for me. But I love the way that you can you summarize for our audience, and let's be honest, us as well, who is the right player for Petco Park? It's an age-old debate. We have talked about it. I mean, we have brought in guys here dealing with, it always makes me so nervous at the trade deadline because, think about some of the guys we've brought in and they don't hit like they did where they were before. Xander Bogaerts is a great example. Adam Frazier. The list goes on and on. Luis Arraez to some extent. Who is the perfect person for Petco Park?
If you want a perfect person, a plug-and-play player, someone whose intrinsic abilities are going to play up in Petco Park, you want someone like Kyle Higashioka. He has a knack. It's just the way that his swing path is for lofting fly balls down the line. And in Petco, those are home runs. You hit it to the power alleys, you hit it to center. Petco has fly ball suppression. And that's driven by atmospheric, some combination of the prevailing wind pattern, the density of the air. But down the lines, it's fairly short porches. And when you get players who just their intrinsic ability is to just loft fly balls right down the line, which is Higashioka has always been his whole career, one of the best in Major League Baseball at that, doesn't have great bat speed, is not going to hit a 450-foot home run, but you don't have to down the line. And that's why he put up a ridiculous home run percentage last year. You want players like that if you want a plug-and-play player.
Yeah.
The challenge is if you don't have that knack, if you don't naturally hit the ball that way, you can run into a lot of trouble trying to, brute force your mechanics to get to those outcomes. That kind of change can come with a ton of extra pop-ups, extra strikeouts, a lot of hard hit balls that are foul because you're so pull heavy. So if you've got that knack, great. It's not as clear that you can just, coach players that do not have that natural tendency. Just loft it over the left field wall. What are you doing? It's not that simple.
Listening to you talk, Dylan, I feel like there's at least a version of Luis Arraez who's also like an ideal Petco Park player, like the one that we saw get ahead 2-0 the other night, and then hunt a pitch that he could pull down toward the short porch in right field and hit for a home run. And when he doesn't do that, then use the big outfield and just get your singles and get on base. Is he potentially still a good fit here for the Padres?
There's some things about the park that are not a good fit for him. So outfielders do tend to play closer in Petco down the lines because of the shorter porches there. And that does mean that these line drives that he will hit, right over third base, right over shortstop, if they're a degree or two higher in launch angle, that might just go right into the glove of the fielder there. I think the bigger issue with Arraez is he's had a measurable decrease in the quality and consistency of his contact for about a year. Kind of speculated that that's because he tore the stabilizing ligament in his left hand, the ligament that keeps the bat from moving within your grip as it makes contact with the ball. He's still been a pretty good hitter, but you see that, he's the perfect example of there's a short enough porch that even he can take in the right situation, a 3 true outcomes approach, just lock in on a pitch. If he gets the pitch right where he's expecting it, he can drive it over the wall, and a no doubter
was,
before his swing was over, he knew that was gone. He knew he had executed, and that's not something that's been a big part of his game. But what comes to my mind is, if for any reason there really is something that's still affecting him, keeping him from getting to that most consistent quality of contact in baseball that he had for his first 5 years in the league, maybe adopt some of the more common tricks of the trade. Work a count, look for a pitch exactly where you want it, and try to drive. That's never been his, success formula because it's never had to be. But what a moment that was. That was so timely. That's about as timely and as situational of hitting as, you can possibly draw up, even though that's not typically what we're talking about when we say situational hitting.
That's such great breakdown. Talking to Dylan, letters to AJ on Twitter. Can you break down for us, what are you seeing with Jackson Merrill? Obviously, we know he chases. We know he's chasing too much and he's pressing, and you can't really quantify pressing. And you can see it in his face. You could see it, last night I go, look at his face, to my wife. She goes, oh, wow. I go, yeah, there's nothing loose about that jaw right now. It is clenched. He's squeezing the sawdust out of the bat. And, we got so used to him being such an elite adjuster in his rookie year, right? Now, yeah, the book's out on him, certainly, but the book's out on all these guys that he sees. And he has not made that adjustment this year. What are you seeing from him?
So you see a slump like this, and it doesn't matter what player it is, you do have to consider whether he's still playing through some type of ailment, something that's not showing up on the injury report. But he missed a lot of time with that hamstring injury. He also had a concussion, and both of those can linger for an entire season. There's no way to know. This is something that only probably he and people internal to the team can know. But that's on the differential diagnosis. But the other thing that I guess just as concerning is taking it back to Petco Park hitting. Petco Park hitting can really mess with your brain as a hitter. Because if you think about, how do we improve at any task? We usually need feedback. So in most areas, your failures drive your improvements because if you fail, you got to make an adjustment. Okay, keep adjusting. Okay, got to some success. Great, we're on the right path, and you keep that feedback loop coming. I do worry to some degree about the psychological effect of hitting in Petco, and just to use a topical example. The other night, Merrill hit a ball 104.5 miles an hour with a perfect launch angle, a no-doubter home run that barely made it to the warning. And you run the risk of internalizing the failures, even if the process was good and you were on the right track. And it's so natural for us when we're failing, when the outcomes are bad, we got to change. But I think while you typically want to adapt to feedback, you need to adapt to the right feedback. Because if your process is good and you're failing for some reason other than your process, and you continue to adapt to that feedback, you're risking making maladaptive changes.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I wonder about that. We have, at this point, seen so many hitters come to Petco, and something's just not right.
Can we change the weather in San Diego?
Let's
probably not. Talking to Dylan, letters to AJ, and you had a piece this week, actually, a Substack about the Padres' disparate records against teams with winning records above 500 and losing. Dominated against the bad teams, they have struggled against the quote unquote good teams. Now, I think the obvious analysis is, well, Padres clearly aren't good enough to really be a playoff contender because they don't beat those good teams. But you kind of had a different spin on it. Explain kind of what you saw as you broke those numbers down with the Padres' results so far this season.
Yeah, I guess the two things are that baseball is the least deterministic sport of all the major sports. There's so much variance, and the teams are simply not the same night to night. You have the most heliocentric player on the field, your starting pitcher, changes every night. So teams are just not monolithic. It to some degree depends, when did you play this team and in what part of the rotation with, what version you got. Did you get the version that's a very, very hard team to beat? Or did you get a version that's, if that was their lineup every night, that was their pitcher every night, they're pretty middling. So just went through start by start and saw that we caught a lot of the best teams in baseball with their best arms on the mound during their hottest streaks of the season. So I think it's in the end evened out that the starting pitchers from the winning teams that the Padres face had like cumulative season ERA of something like 3.57. But if you look at those teams' entire starting rotation battery on the season, including the pitchers that Padres never faced, a lot worse performance, 3.8 ERA on the season. And, the Padres only playing these teams 3 games out of the year. So the offensive scuffles certainly are part of it, but that's not what's bringing down the ERA that much. We caught the best version, a lot of these best teams. And in baseball, the best teams and the worst teams aren't separated by that much. The best team in baseball is going to lose 40 to 60 games every year, guaranteed. And those are usually the, quote, dominant teams. And you don't have anything resembling that in any other sport. In football, a 12-4 team, that would be the equivalent of the best baseball team that has ever existed. And you've got those teams almost one in every division.
Yeah, no question.
Really fascinating stuff. I also wonder whether Jesse Aguilar gave you like 17 incorporator words to drop on us,
Yeah,
like
because he busted them out,
and monolithic,
man. It was
and
beautiful.
Just all kinds of. I mean, the thesaurus game is strong with Dylan here today.
You crushed it. The reviews in the chat are off the hook. Everyone's so basically what we're trying to say is we'll talk to you next week at some point, Dylan. It was fantastic. It was fantastic, man.
Thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
Thank you, brother.
Letters to AJ. Dylan, really good stuff there. And not as negative as you might imagine.
No. And
I mean,
do you feel dumber, though? Because I know
a little
I
bit.
do.
Even I do.
I feel like an abs. Did you hear what he just said, Paul?
Even I do.
A little backhanded. Yeah. Even
I.
me. Even I feel dumb.
I generally have a grasp on most of this stuff, but his is very high level.
It's really good.
But it wasn't negative.
No, it's not.
It's not negative. I know fans don't want to hear sometimes us say, yeah, well,
Keep the faith.
you ran into hot teams and hot pitchers, and that's just what
But he's not
happens
just turd
sometimes.
polish.
He's not turd. There was zero turd polish in there. Zero.
Didn't even have to bust out
He's
the
like, here's
rag.
the numbers. This is what it is. It's really good. Really good. I'm very impressed.
But clearly, we all agree it's time to make a change at the bottom of the order.
Yes. Also move the fences in 5 feet. Sorry.
And get Kyle Higashioka back.
Yes.
Now,
when he said Kyle Higashioka, I was like,
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Look back at last year, the
Yeah.
Higgy Bank, baby. It was
Of
open
course.
the whole second half of the season.
They lose that game on Tuesday night if the fences are 1 foot closer.
I know. I get it. I get it.
So,
But
you know.
we win a lot more. I think.
than they lose.
Yep. I agree.
I've wondered if they think about considering that, because they made some big changes to Petco Park a few years after it opened. It was ridiculously hard, and then they made it a little more fair. Would they think about it again? Is there a possibility that they could change the dimensions at Petco Park again in the near future?
I don't know. Maybe. Why not?
Because I think what he said about other teams come in, if they have a bad offensive series at Petco Park, because, they fly out to the warning track a few times, they shrug it off and they go on back home to their hitter's haven or to another city where they hit better, and they don't worry about it. But when you play 81 games there, and like Jackson Merrill, you hit the tar out of a ball. You hit a perfect ball.
You hit it. It's a home run.
And you don't get rewarded for that. It starts to mess with your mind.
Then you think you need to do something different, which you don't. But I can see the human element of being so pissed off that I couldn't have hit that ball better, and it didn't go out. What is happening? So then what happens your next day, AB? Are you relaxed and calm? No, you fly it out to the warning track after hitting a seed, and you're like, I got to make some changes. I got to change. So it's a really brilliant point, one that is very hard to drill down on.
But one that really only affects the Padres, not their opponents.
Correct.
It doesn't affect an opponent who's just here for 3 days.
Here for 3 days.
Does not.
Maybe that gives you a little clarity as to why other teams can come in and hit home runs, and it's much harder for us. Much harder. Man, that's good.
Wow. Petco Park, the team's biggest advantage and perhaps their biggest obstacle to success as well.
Yeah. Go to break because I'm about to pee my pants.
All right. Woodsy's going to take a little time out, and we will come back. We still have coming up the Reindl Report before we get to 10 o'clock in the roundtable today. So lots more to get to with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I'm always excited to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Even our Tony Gwynn Jr. losing weight and feeling better. Not that he needed it as badly as I did, but, I heard his testimonial earlier today, just saying, like, even if you only need to lose like 10, 15 pounds, you can do it really fast with SDFatLoss.com. Follow the program to lose a lot of weight. You can. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. If you need to lose less, though, you can do it faster than even with the injections. It's a quick weight loss solution, but it's also sustainable. I have kept my weight off for 2 years, still going strong because I changed a lot. I changed my thinking. I changed my metabolism. And I am loving the new me with SDFatLoss.com. You can love the new you as well. Just set up a free consultation by going to SDFatLoss.com. Take advantage of their summer special right now. Get $200 off the program. And remember, you're not buying anything extra. You don't get any bars or shakes or mixes. You just eat regular food from the grocery store, even restaurants, and still lose weight by following the strategies that your coach is going to lay out for you. So go to SDFatLoss.com. Change your life like I did. SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Us with some incredible content there for Padres fans.
I don't even want to thank him because I just feel stupid and bad about myself. I'm so happy he delivered for the audience and for me. But I feel like a buffoon, and I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I don't see, he's like, well, I've just played my whole life. I'm like, well, so have I. And I don't see what you see. And it makes me sad. He's really good.
But it wasn't just numbers. There was a little the psychology part about Petco Park.
Mm-hmm.
I think it feels really true, at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you can ever totally quantify it, but the psychological damage, especially this season, of the ball, whatever the combination of the ball that doesn't fly as far with Petco Park and the weather seeming to knock down fly balls a little bit more for a team that hits a lot of deep fly balls to center field, that has got to be taking its toll on the Padres mentally, offensively.
It's got to crush you, man. It just does. There's no two ways about it. You smoke a ball, and you're like, I got it. That's all I've got. That's all I got in my bat, and it doesnent go. It doesn't go, and it should go, and it goes in every other ballpark except yours. It's just it's brutal. It's excruciating.
All right. Paulie always does some good work for us on a Throwback Thursday, looking back in our archives for clips that we can relive and re-enjoy, along with the tier ones. And this year we are not going back very far. And it also happens to be someone we were just talking about.
That's insane.
Yeah, just worked out that way. Yeah, you guys remember it was a year ago yesterday, one Kyle Higashioka. He was actually coming in to the studio. He had to record a couple of commercials for an endorsement that he was doing. We're like, why don't you just do it at the radio station? I think they had an off day or something. And he popped into the studio, and we knew this was happening. So Woodsy, you brought in your electric guitar.
I was out of tune.
It was out of tune just a little bit. Because I mean, the first thing that we really fell in love with Kyle Higashioka was that he shreds on the guitar. So here is just a couple of minutes from 1 year ago yesterday, Kyle Higashioka in studio.
This is going to make me miss him now.
I know.
All right, Kyle Higashioka in studio. He's got the guitar. He's putting on the headphones. Don't know what direction he's going to take us, but it's all up to him now.
That's where we'll be. That's what make the nights. Always crossing lines out in the belts of music shells. Get in our way. We'll put you on your shelves.
So good. That's absolutely phenomenal. You're a shredder. You still got the Trooper
Now,
in
what
you?
was that? I don't know.
That was Round and Round by Rat. You still have the Trooper?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Iron Maiden's the video I saw that blew my mind. Iron Maiden. Five, if I said. Come on, dude. How do you let this guy walk? How do you let him walk? So he can play the Trooper. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Oh, look at that. It's incredible.
That was incredible.
How do you let him walk out the door? That's unbelievable. $6 million?
The irony is the Rangers are probably saying, God, why did we overpay for
I know.
this guy? He's done nothing for us.
Right. He had that one game where he drove in
Rangers.
5
against
runs.
the Padres. Other than that, he's got 2 home runs.
Give
all
him
year.
back.
What happened to the Kyle Higashioka with the Padres? They
Give
hit
him
17
back.
bombs.
Give him back. We'll take him back.
God, that was fun.
I love the Higgy Bang. Higgy forever. We love all the same music. He's the nicest kid, the nicest guy. My son has hanging in his room. Bo colored a picture of him, and he signed it to Bo. Keep on swinging it, Kyle Higashioka, and it's treasured. It's in a little sleeve. Like he was so kind and such a good player, such a good human. Always like the only time I've ever walked in the locker room, a guy's like, "Hey, what's up? What'd you come here? I want to show you these guitar pedals." Like I love the guy.
Now I haven't really gotten your opinion on this, but they replaced one musical Padre with a different one this year in Jose Iglesias.
Yeah,
and I heard his new track.
I have not
that he
heard the new
released.
track
You haven't
yet.
heard the new
No,
track
how
that he
is it?
released? I think he's good.
You
I
have it,
don't
Paulie?
I don't understand
don't
the
have it
words because it's all in Spanish.
Roto?
What we need the chat to come through. What's the name of the new single?
Just
that
Google or put in Jose Iglesias.
What's Candelita single? Candelita new.
That's the old one.
Single. OMG was last year.
OMG was last year.
The new one is is it Roto?
Play it.
But I think it sounds really good.
He's really talented. Roto meaning broken. Oh, he's thinking about our offense. Inspiration. That was our offense.
Remember that road trip we had?
All right, hit it. Can we hear it?
I gotta.
All right, we'll
Is
do
it
it
on
when
Spotify?
We'll do it when we come back. We got the Reindl Report, and we'll hear a little bit from the new musical Padre, Jose Iglesias, when we return. Final segment of Ben and Woods coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
All right, this is a great day. Thursday, it's a beautiful time. Head down to Chula Vista. You're going to get off Bay Boulevard, west side of the freeway, pull into 7 Mile Casino. Enjoy not only San Diego's best card room, but I just love the atmosphere at 7 Mile. The casino is great. The patio is fantastic. A view of San Diego Bay, the Silver Strand, Coronado, and beyond. It's just a terrific spot to hang out and have a good time.
I like the view of the dealer throwing me an ace on top of my 10. I really love California-style blackjack. A lot of fun to play there. And I like the people. They're friendly. Love the food. Love the smoke-free environment as well. You don't walk out of there and feel, oh, I just did something I shouldn't have done. It's a great, great place to hang. So check it out. It is just 7 minutes from downtown.
Yeah, the food at Sammy's at 7 Mile is top-notch and available 24 hours a day, which is very rare in San Diego. But if you get off the late shift, you're looking for a meal, they'll be cooking that 24/7 players menu, which is fantastic. And then weekends, the weekend brunch, Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Best in the South County, all available today. Always at Sammy's at 7 Mile. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Final segment before our roundtable coming up at the top of the hour, and we will be joined by Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Scraby, and Braden Soprenin, along with the three of us to talk a little more Padres baseball coming up here. I do see a lot of We Miss Higgy posts in our chat, which is true, but it's also hard to argue that the Padres made a mistake in letting him go.
How do you figure?
How do you figure? Because
I mean,
he didn't have anybody else.
Normally, when a guy leaves your team and then doesn't have a good season,
no, but he just letter stages said he's the perfect fit for Petco Park. So if he doesn't leave here,
we broke the code. We found out who's good, and we let him go.
Why is he such a bad player for Progressive Field or whatever the Rangers ballpark is called?
I have no idea. I don't know about that. All I know
that's
is that
for letters to Chris to answer.
Yes, that's for letters to Chris.
To CY.
Yeah, letters to CY.
I'm just saying normally when a guy goes, gets a big raise somewhere else, and then does not have a good season, you breathe a sigh of relief going, phew, glad we dodged that bullet. Didn't sign him. He's another team's problem this year.
But again, like if he was the right fit, I think about what does he get? I think he makes what, 6.5 a year? My God. And I know our starting catchers combined make what, 4? Is that right? 5?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking. He didn't leave for a $25 million deal. He's like, oh, well, obviously we're not going to pay the guy $25 million a year as a catcher. No, he left for a pittance, essentially. 2 years, $13 million, I think, for Higgy. We could have done that.
I mean, he's hitting 234, 3 homers, 632 OPS. His WAR is 0.3.
Oh, that is triple what any of our catchers are. So just so you know. There you go.
It's just, I mean, the numbers are just not good, though.
You just don't like Iron Maiden and Rat.
No, I do.
I do. No, you don't. It's fine.
I do.
You want to be the only Higgy.
Yeah, you want to be the only. That's what it is. You want to be the only Higgy. I think we could get him back in the trade. I don't think it would kill us.
Oh, I think that would definitely be something the Rangers would consider.
Yeah.
He's not producing for them.
Right. He's a good fit here.
He's also, let's say, he's not great defensively.
He's 50 times better than what we have.
What have you been watching?
50.
I wouldn't say that.
46.
Splitting hairs here.
For real.
All right, fair enough.
For real.
We will check traffic, and then Paulie's got some Reindl Report headlines for us to wrap up the show here today on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Just a couple of problems wrapping up our morning drive. Tow truck helping to clear a crash on South 805 at the eastbound King Freeway transition ramp. And watch out for a stalled car in the fast lane, eastbound 52 past Santo Road. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report. with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right.
All right, Pally.
Happy Thursday, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Fantastic. Ready for the roundtable. Fired up.
So am I.
Team player, company man.
I legitimately am excited to see Tony Gwynn Jr. We never get to see him.
Never get to see him.
He's always on the road
Saw him
or in the
in-
afternoons.
Saw him in Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, we did see him.
For a
That was
second.
good to see him there. But yeah, that'll be fun. So let's get right into it. So yesterday on the Reindl Report, we played a clip from season 2 of Quarterback on Netflix. Dan Campbell, pretty much anything Dan Campbell's in, we'll at least give it a listen. And that started getting me thinking, all right, maybe I'll watch. If there's going to be more Dan Campbell and some Jared Goff, like I could probably get into that for season 2 because I didn't.
Dan Campbell every day.
I didn't care for season 1 that much of Quarterback. From what I watched, it was like 2 episodes. Saw another clip from the new season that had me laughing pretty hard. I think Ben's going to really like this one. And this has to do with Falcons quarterback. I had to remember what team he's on. Kirk Cousins. I think he was in the first season of Quarterback. He's back in this one. And they're starting to sell me on season 2 here because Kirk Cousins, you're kind of doing the day in the life with Kirk Cousins. And he talks about getting his hair cut. He likes to go to Great Clips.
Oh, you're a Sport Clips guy.
I was a Sport Clips guy.
You're off Sport. You have a stylist now.
I do.
Yeah, got you. Finally upgraded you.
Juan takes care of my hair now.
Many say I've been a bad influence on you, but
In
I think
Solana
I've
Beach.
influence.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
So
too.
Here's a little audio.
Cost you a little more.
A little bit.
Looks a little better. Looks a lot better.
You say that, so I believe you. I don't really. I guess I don't really notice either way. Looks kind of the same to me. But
You look great.
Thank you.
Well, what made this clip so funny and why it was going around on social media was because Kirk Cousins, you walk into your barbershop or whatever, and like, oh, what do you, even if it's the exact same thing, like my guy's been working with me for years now, like he knows what I'm doing, but occasionally you're like, yeah, you know what? I didn't really like it on this side. Like change it up just a little bit. Kirk Cousins walks into a Great Clips, pulls out his phone and pulls up a picture of his own headshot from the Falcons media day, like their Falcons website.
Yeah, from
And
last
he just
year.
goes, can you do this?
Okay, Kurt.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready for you.
Let's go.
All right. My name is Catherine. I'll be doing
Catherine.
a Great Clip today.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I go to one place, and that's Great Clips, because I can just go on the app.
How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Amazing.
I can see what the wait is. If the wait time is under 15 minutes, I just sign up, and then I can just drive there and walk right in and get right in the chair. This
like
is what I'm looking for.
A lot of salon.
Okay, so
It's like a one, and then you fade it up.
Okay, you got it.
That sound good?
Sounds good.
Now I start just holding up a picture. I took a picture from one of the headshots from a Falcons game program, and I just say, "Can you do this?" And that usually helps eliminate any gray area. Everybody needs a little rush in their lives, and I get mine when I go to Great Clips to get my hair cut.
A rush? Like Rush the band or like a rush?
Like a rush.
Oh, like
an emotional
rush.
rush.
lift when he goes to Great Clips. Have you ever taken a picture in to your?
No, but it's a great
I absolutely
idea.
have.
Who have you taken in?
Of yourself.
No,
you want to look someone else.
It
You wanna
was
look
like
someone else.
it was a generic
okay
hair model, but I was like, this is kind of what I was thinking, and he's like, oh, great, this is perfect.
Have you ever browsed through those books? They sometimes have hairstyles.
More than you could ever imagine. Just fiending to have, because these guys, these big pompadours.
Yeah.
I'm like, my hair doesn't do that. It's my hair's all puby and like it's gross. Like I can't get that. But I'll never forget. I was in 6th grade. And I opened a Time magazine and I saw Larry Mullen Jr. from U2, the drummer. And he had the coolest like flat top. And I was like, dude, he looks so. And I looked around, 6th grade. I looked around. I ripped the thing out of the magazine in the library, folded it up, put it in my pocket. Next time I went to I go, that's what I want. I want to look like Larry Mullen Jr. from U2. I didn't, because I have the shape. I'm the shape of a thumb. He is not a thumb shape.
Or maybe the stylist just wasn't talented enough.
No,
to
she
pull
did
off that.
he did the exact same
Yours just
haircut that
didn't look the right way.
When you have a thumb head, it doesn't work. Okay? It doesn't work. That's why the faux hawk has always worked fine for me. I know it's a little outdated. I know it.
But it works.
But it works for me. I've tried all their stuff. It doesn't work for me.
See, now I'm not made of money. How much did Kirk Cousins sign for?
Like $700 million.
Why does he care about how long the wait is? He could hire someone who
come
comes
to his
to
house.
him at any time he wants.
The last time we were in the Padres clubhouse, they had somebody down there cutting Randy Vasquez's hair the day before start, the day of the start.
They always have.
They always got
barber
guys down there. Yeah.
So I don't know what came first, the season 2 of Quarterback on Netflix or Kirk Cousins' partnership with Great Clips. But regardless, the clip was going around viral after season 2 was released just a few days ago. And Kirk Cousins posted on social media pictures of him getting his haircut at Great Clips. And he says, I've been going to at Great Clips for years. And now they're recognizing my dedication with an induction into the Hall of Fade. Every time I stop into a salon, everyone there gets a free haircut. Your next check-in on the app could be for a seat next to me. Hashtag Great Clips partner.
It did sound like some good ad copy that he was reading.
Why? Simply the best.
I just go onto the app and check the wait time.
Let me tell you guys why Great Clips is different. And here's what I like about it. I can go on the app. Then I drive to the place and I can walk right in and sit in the chair. And I like that about that. You can't do that at other places.
Sure can't.
What do you think I do when I get my hair cut, Kurt?
You walk into a place.
I drive there. I listen to the radio. I walk in, see what the weight is, and then I sit down in the chair and cut my hair. It's really good.
All right, we'll move on. Saw this going around on Instagram yesterday. Livy Dunn posted a video of what she's been dealing with lately, trying to buy her first piece of real estate. I don't know exactly what her net worth is now, but I know she's cashed in with some NIL money and endorsements now over the last couple of years. Are they engaged yet?
No.
Paul Skeens?
No.
She's in a relationship with somebody who's also got a lot of money. They were looking to purchase a home and an apartment in New York City.
A home and an apartment or an apartment? An apartment home.
You can turn your apartment into a home, I guess. She wanted to buy her first place. And she was looking at an apartment in New York City, and it didn't come to fruition, and she explained why.
Upset. So a few months ago, I decided I was going to make my first real estate purchase, which is so exciting, and I was going to get an apartment in New York City. But the gag was, it was Babe Ruth's apartment. So naturally, like, I'm telling everybody, I'm excited. I was going to buy it, and I was going to pay with cash. Like, I wanted this apartment bad. Like, it got to the point where the realtor was so confident. Paul and I went. I got an interior designer because I didn't want to bring my college furniture to Babe Ruth's apartment. That would be like criminal. Then the week that I'm supposed to get my keys to my brand new apartment, I get a call. The co-op board denied me. So pretty much the people in the building voted to not have me live there, which is fine. Like, honestly, it wasn't financial. It could have been, for all I know, they could have been Alabama fans and I went to LSU. Like, I have no clue. Maybe they didn't want a public figure living there, but I was literally supposed to get the keys, and that week they denied me. So it was just iconic. Like, it was so cool that it was Babe Ruth's apartment. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. But long story short, don't try to live in a co-op. You might get denied, and you won't get Babe Ruth's apartment.
My wife was on that board, actually. She's the one that turned them down. She would not want Livy Dunn living in the same building.
The co-op's like an HOA.
Pretty much, yeah.
But they can deny you.
Crazy. You can have all the money on the planet. And they're like, sorry. No,
you're not our kind of people.
I do understand the probable logic there. Is they're like, we don't want paparazzi cameras,
or
people
like,
all
let's
over the place.
let's say there's because there's probably famous people that live there anyway. If it's
right, yeah,
she's not the only one.
I mean, Babe Ruth lived there.
I don't know, man. Like, you want somebody shooting Instagram videos in the hallway every time you walk out your door, right? That could be it too. Like, she's a celebrity, but she's not a celebrity. She's not an actor.
A low key, like, I'm going to wear my sunglasses.
Correct.
Slink out of the building, then go be a star.
So here I am in the elevator. Have you ever seen an elevator with so many buttons? Do you guys like buttons? Like, I mean, I can kind of slightly
She's
get
not
it.
that bad.
All right. Okay.
She does document a lot of her.
She documents a lot. Yeah.
And that's how she makes money. And that's
how
good
she
for
makes money.
her.
Good for her.
But I
Have a
can
ball.
understand neighbors
get it.
being like,
Now, they could be shooting themselves in the foot, because having her there could also increase
the value,
their property value of owning their apartment.
Would you be more or less likely to move into the building that
Libby Dunn lived in? Maybe more. So that this could be cut off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, possibly.
I don't think they care, though. People that live in that building are like, whatever, I'm good.
All right, and then finally, before we get to our third story, real quick, it is the Reindl Report. Going to give a quick shout out to another Reindl, my wife, Megan Reindl.
Shout out.
It's a weird day for us. It is the 15th anniversary, I guess, death anniversary of her father, my father-in-law, passing away. Woodsy, I know you deal with it too. Every year, never gets easier.
Nope.
But I just wanted to say, babe, thinking about you.
Love you.
See you in a few hours. Next up, to wrap up,
I think
the
you'll get
Reindl
lucky
Report.
today. Is today a good day, would you say, to get lucky?
I'm not going to ask. So we'll just...
No? What would happen? Would you get your hand slapped? Today, of all days, is the day you asked me?
Yeah. Are you insane?
100%.
Are you crazy?
Hey, I thought you might want to take your mind off of it. Might work. Just try it.
I'll let you know. Keep you updated tomorrow morning.
Let me know.
Finally, got a horror story here from San Jose, California. Now, recently we talked about the story where a woman's little child bought on Amazon like boxes and boxes and boxes of lollipops, and they all got delivered from Amazon. There is something going on in San Jose where this woman is receiving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of large Amazon packages for like a year now. And they all contain the exact same thing. Oversized fake leather car seat covers that were made from a company in China. You see the video on our YouTube channel.
They are filled with them.
Her house, her yard, her garage are full of large Amazon boxes. So what happened was there is a company that works with Amazon in China. They have these fake leather car seat covers. They're the wrong size already for the seats, for car seats. They don't fit.
So they don't fit
So
anything.
anybody that has ever bought one has to return
It's
it.
worthless.
They put a random address, not their Chinese company's address. They put this woman in San Jose's address as the return address for their company. So she has been getting all of these. She reached out to Amazon many times. What did they tell her? They'll probably stop coming eventually, or just get rid of, give them away or something.
Oh, no.
They kept coming. She finally reached out to the local news. They did a story, and Amazon was like, what's this? They've changed her address. They brought a Amazon truck to her house to
take it all,
to get rid of everything.
So you were telling me
had to move.
You were telling me that the Chinese company didn't want to have to pay for the reshipping.
It was a
back
scam,
to China.
basically.
So they just said, just get rid of it.
Yeah, they don't have to pay
dump it in this
international
woman's
shipping.
house. It's awful. It was awful.
Oh my!
That's like a nightmare.
It was awful, dude. Awful.
All right, let's go.
All right. Down to the sound space. The roundtable is coming up next. We'll be back Friday morning, 6 a.m. for more Ben and Woods here with Paulie and Woods. I'm Ben. Don't go away. You're listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be right back.